FC26, the most recent football game released from EA Sports. I've already explored every EA generated stadium in FC26 and you all loved it. So now it's time to do every licensed stadium, which there are over 130 of, by the way, so sit back and enjoy this very long video of me exploring every single licensed stadium in FC26. First stadium we're exploring today is the ACCU stadium, or the ACU ACCU, I'm not too sure which one it is. It's probably the ACCU. But it's the home of Huddersfield and it holds 24,121 people. And this stadium has one of the best roof designs you will ever see. I am a huge sucker for curved roofs. I mean, look at that, isn't it just perfect? These corner supporting beams also look absolutely insane. Like, they don't need to look like that, but I love stuff that looks wild even though they don't have to. Other than that, this corner doesn't really have much to look at, just a wall and some grass. This corner has the same exact supporting beams, some stairs and a blue door. And in this last corner we have some blue bins, a green container and the commentary box. I do wonder if the green containers are actually green in real life. But sadly the commentary box doesn't look too good because it's literally the same people over and over again. If I rotate it, you'll see the same bold man. If you rotate it, I'll see the same bold man. And we have these booths behind these people as well. And as you can see, once again, same PNGs reused. EA love to reuse stuff. I mean, I know it's hard to just make and buy new PNGs when it's just a football game, who really cares? But also, more than 6 people exist in this world. But if we look at the surrounding area, we just see grass, or what seems to be grass, even though it doesn't very much look like it. Over this way, we have a little bit more realistic looking ground, but that there, I mean, wow. EA, have you seen grass before? I know you've seen grass before because this grass is perfectly fine, but for some reason, that's not. But this side's actually pretty beautiful. Look at the hills. Look at the trees. EA love trees, and I imagine this is actually how it could look in real life. If so, I want to go to this stadium. Al Parker had absolutely no idea this stadium existed before making this video, but here we are. It's the home of Al Nasser in Saudi Arabia, and it holds 25,000 people. The stadium does have a very cool dugout. I like how the colours of the seats match the colours of the stadium and the team, and you may be thinking, every team does that, but I can guarantee you, no they don't. But above that we have more booths, and as you can imagine, in every booth is pretty much the same interior and the same bold man, woman with a grey top, and another bold man. But looking past those booths, this wall design is absolutely beautiful. It covers the whole entire stadium just above the stands and obviously below the roof, but it just looks wonderful. I don't know if it's lights or it's actual gaps in the stadium, but either way, it looks wonderful. But something I'm very surprised about is that Al Nasser doesn't have pictures and posters of Ronaldo all over their stadium, because once he leaves, they're nothing. But before we get to the next stadium, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below which football team you support. The Elinma Stadium at Kashk. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to call it Elinma Stadium. Now this is a stadium you would expect Ronaldo to play at home in, not that championship stadium from before. I mean, this is by far the biggest stadium we have explored today so far, and it's probably the best looking one as well. The roof design is absolutely amazing. I can see why the Saudi national team also play here. But if I'm being very, very picky, these dugouts are awful. They're so boring to look at, there's no colour at all. But other than that, this stadium is a spectacle of Saudi Arabian football. The Allianz Arena, we all know who plays here, but if you somehow don't, it's the German giants, Bayern Munich. Since the stadium is so huge, there honestly isn't much to explore. All we can see are these huge stands and the wonderful roof. If there's one thing we can see, it's this tunnel that I believe probably leads outside of the stadium. I can imagine it's used for ambulances. But the dugout, by far the best dugout we have seen today so far. It's literally just a straight line. I love when stuff doesn't get interrupted. And look at this straight line. And obviously there's no tunnel in the middle. It is absolutely beautiful. We also have this tunnel down here, which I believe is where the players walk out. And there's also a broom, so at least it's clean. The Allianz Stadium, home to former Italian giants Juventus. It holds 41,000 people and is one of the greatest stadiums in Italy. We can't really see too much out of the stadium other than if we look through these little gaps, and it's just a normal PNGs as always. But the roof design, absolutely beautiful once again. From the structure of the underside of the roof to the pillars and the wires, it looks absolutely stunning. But this is a pretty cool design around the whole stadium. They've got the dates they won the Serie A in. Even going on a crazy 5-year run from 1995 to 1999. But they haven't won it since 2021. That is why I said former Giants. And if they're worrying about running out of space, I don't think they're going to run out of space anytime soon because they're shit. Other than that, it's kind of a boring stadium. There's not much colour, and obviously Juve are a black and white team, so they're not going to have reds, yellows, blues, but a little bit of colour doesn't hurt. The American Express Stadium, aka the Amex, our first Premier League stadium we're exploring so far. And honestly, it's one of my favourite ones, holding just 31,876 people. It's my favourite Premier League stadium, and I don't even support Brighton. And it's for this reason, the roof. We saw from the ACCU stadium that I absolutely love curved roofs, and this is no different. And the fact it curves but still connects at all 4 corners, it's just beautiful. And this stand is wonderful. I love when there are stands with multiple tiers. And I know most stadiums in the world have that. But what I mean is where the stand at the top is smaller than the stand at the bottom. So it kind of resembles, in a very weird way, a triangle. As we float over to this corner, we see the commentary box and all of these small little rooms. Obviously, same interiors, same people, we expect that by now. But this time it doesn't take it away from the stadium, just because it's just so beautiful. We have this wall over here, which could either be a power station or some toilets. It looks like toilets, but there's an electricity sign there, so I don't believe it's going to be toilets. But I absolutely love the wall design and the multicoloured balls on the wall. It looks amazing. We have exactly the same thing over here as well, which makes me believe it could be toilets. Anfield, another stadium where we all know exactly who plays here. And it's one of England's most iconic stadiums. And since it's such a big stadium, there really isn't much to look at. You can't see any of the surrounding area, and just like the Amex, Liverpool has quite a pretty cool looking roof. You do not see this roof once again in England anywhere. But sadly, this is pretty much the only thing to see, and it's just a hallway. And in this corner, we see the exit of the stadium. Talking about the exit of the stadium, let's get to the next one. Ashton Gate, the home of Bristol City. This championship stadium holds 27,000 fans, and even though this is my first time seeing this stadium, there are some parts I absolutely adore. First, we have this cool sitting area, and I'm surprised EA didn't actually just put PNGs here. So EA, for once, I guess well done, I guess. But obviously the booths next to it have the same PNGs in it as always, but we expect that by now. And these ones down here, and these ones, and all over the place. But if we go to the corners, we can actually see outside. We see some very, very British looking houses, and we just see these long white buildings, which I don't even know what they could be. But that yellow building and the white one next to it, those walls are absolutely disgusting. But this corner in itself is beautiful to look at. It's a very, very modern looking building. Very, very different to the houses around it. I can imagine this is where the VIPs go, if Bristol has VIPs. BC Place, the home of Vancouver Whitecaps in Canada. With a full capacity of 54,000, but only 22 of it gets used for football games. That very much explains the cloth that's covering half of the stadium, but honestly, I quite like it. I don't like American soccer, but this stadium looks very, very good. Even the roof. You don't really see this much in England either, apart from maybe Wembley. But we do have this floating box of screens, which you literally never see in England, because it's not needed. It looks great, but it is never needed. People have eyes. BMO Stadium, the home of LAFC. It holds 22,000, and you can really tell because it is not big at all. We have these cool glass panes here. I don't really know why they're there, but they're there. In this corner, there really isn't much. It looks incredibly barren, apart from these buildings that look like prisons, and if you see there's a floating lamppost. Well done, EA. As we float to the right, we do see some very American-looking buildings, and that's funny because we're in America. Even though I'm sure America doesn't just have these huge concrete opening areas that have nothing in it, but, you know, EA are stupid. As we float over, you may just be thinking, it just looks like awful buildings from before, but as we float right, you see skyscrapers. The first time, I believe, EA have ever put skyscrapers... I'm leaving that blooper in the video because I don't even care, but this is the first time they've put skyscrapers into their game, and there's even more floating lampposts. Even though the skyscrapers are just PNGs, you have to respect EA for even caring enough to put them there in the first place. Yes, they could have filled the area with realistic looking grass and buildings and just concrete that doesn't look like Play-Doh. But obviously the stadium is in Los Angeles, and there are quite a lot of skyscrapers in Los Angeles. So for this one, EA, congratulations. Yes, the mountains behind them look like landfills from Cyberpunk, but at least they put the skyscrapers there, I guess. Borussia Park, the home of Mönchengladbach in Germany. And I don't want to be rude, but this stadium is kind of boring. As we float around the stadium, please tell me if there's anything that catches your eye, like, ooh, that's interesting, because, trust me, there's really not much. The roof is okay, the stands look just like a normal stand of a basic stadium. There's just nothing exciting. But this dugout is very, very cool. If the stadium was black and yellow instead of just being black and white, honestly, it would be a 9 out of 10 at least. But it's not, so it's a 3. Very, very boring. I'm moving swiftly to the next. The Bayer Arena, home of Bayer Leverkusen, it holds just over 30,000 people. First we have this roof, which is a very interesting design. You haven't really seen this much at all in this one. And you definitely don't see this in England at all. The dugout, though, is very boring. It's small, there's not many colours, it's incredibly boring. The best part of this stadium is by far this wall right here. This building looks perfect. Obviously all the rooms and the interiors and the PNGs are the exact same. How many times are we going to see that guy with his black and white striped shirt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hold up, is he up here? Is he up here anywhere? 14, 14. 14 going once. 14 going twice. 14, 14. How many PNGs can we see? 14. Oh, I thought that was him again. Oh, wait, that is him again. No, it's not. Anyway, we've got 14 of the same man. But as we float out and zoom out, it just looks so incredibly out of place, but perfect at the same time. It's so weird. But I'm very surprised the colouring isn't red, because, you know, Bayer Leverkusen are a red team. The rest of the stadium is red, but for some reason, this part's just blue. Talking of blue, we now have the Blue Energy Stadium in Italy, which is the home of Udinese. These 3 stands here all look very similar. The roof isn't interesting at all, and if it was just this part of the stadium I was looking at, it would be the worst so far. But it's not. This part is absolutely beautiful. We know I love curved roofs, and this is one hell of a curved roof. The white and the red matching absolutely nothing of the stadium. Nothing in this stadium is red, apart from obviously the Arsenal fans, because they wouldn't be here in real life anyway. But nothing else here is red. But somehow, this red looks perfectly in place. And we can actually see outside of the stadium as well. Those trees and bushes there are floating, but that is a pretty cool wall design. And we've got some... I can't say what I want to say, but I'm going to say this camp. It looks like a camp from the 1940s. That's all I will say. I can't say anything else. We've got the booths here with the same black and white striped man. Well, with the shirt, he's not a black and white man, but you know what I'm talking about. And on the other side of the stadium, we have a car park. We have the same walls. We have the same bushes and trees, but this time they're not floating. Seems like on the other side, EA got bored. And we just have some concrete and grass, which it sure looks great. It sure looks great. But the fact we're looking outside of the stadium when we have this beautiful arch is insane to me. Like, look at that arch. It looks beautiful. Yes, the walls over here are pretty dirty, and the floor down here is also incredibly dirty. Look at those walls, man. It takes nothing away from this stadium. Well, maybe not the full stadium, but this one quarter of the stadium. It looks 10 out of 10. Thank you very much, Udinese. Bramall Lane, the home of Sheffield United, is the oldest football stadium in FC26. Being built in 1855, it holds just over 32,000 people, and it's one of the most historic football stadiums in the world. We can see a slight amount of the surrounding area, and honestly, it doesn't look too bad, apart from those buildings are all floating. Whoever at EA designed this stadium, were they drunk? We've got these booths over here as well, but, you know, same thing as always. Same people, same black and white shirt guy, same bold guy. It's all the same people. But the corner to the left of that is very cool. Yes, there's not much here, apart from just some windows and a wall, but it would be very cool to watch the game from inside those rooms. But this corner down here, there's absolutely nothing here, apart from a bin and some red doors. But I have nothing negative to say about this stadium at all. It's absolutely iconic. Cardiff City Stadium. I don't think I need to say who plays here. It's actually a very big stadium, and it's quite sad to see how much Cardiff really have fallen off. There's not too much to see in this stadium at all, but it does have some cool features. First of all, we have this white door, which seems like there's a bar behind it. I want to be in there. And on two sides of the stadium, we have just these rooms with, once again, all the same interiors, but no PNGs this time. EA, did you forget to do it? Or did you forget to do it? But no, I really, really like these walls, I like the rooms, and I like the people, I guess. And this is the other side of the stadium with the same exact walls and the same exact interiors, but we can slightly see outside of the stadium. If you squint, you can see the same PNGs as mounted as always. And there is this cool kind of area down here, which probably is once again used for ambulances, but look how dirty those walls are, man. That one's been burnt. Cardiff, clean your stadium. Next we have the home of Norwich City, Carrow Road. The stands in themselves are quite small, and those walls are incredibly dirty. As we float around the stadium, there really isn't much to excite me, but this wall is pretty cool. It's just funny how it's literally only got one entrance, and there are seats in there. And this time we have booths, but it's not actually the same interior as always. It's a different interior. I think it's absolutely amazing. EA should do this a bit more. We have the same booths on this row as well, but as we float down the stadium, you will start to see this building appear. And to me, it both looks extremely creepy, but also beautiful. I don't know why it needs so many windows, but it makes it look like an insane asylum. And the windows on the side too, and it's only one row, it just makes it look so ugh. But I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite buildings we've seen today, and it looks absolutely disgusting, but also lovely. And if we float above this roof, you can see just outside of the stadium, but it's the same mountains and houses as always. My favourite place in England is the mountainous Norwich. Celtic Park, honestly one of the coolest looking stadiums in the UK. And in this situation, the green and white cards just make it look even better. Back there we can see some booths, but as per usual it's the normal interiors, and up here we have a floating commentary box. Or what should be a commentary box, but there's nobody in there actually doing commentary. They're all pondering about world domination, it looks like. And the roof is also green, and the walls. You would honestly think this amount of green would make the stadium look ugly, but it looks beautiful. Even the supporting beams on the roof are green. Celtic is green through and through. But can you imagine sitting behind that pole? But enough glazing Celtic Park. Let's move on to the next stadium. Fenerbahce Stadium. If you go and search it up, it has a crazy long name, and I can't say all that. But if we float around the stadium, we see these booths, and how many times are we going to see this man with his black and white striped shirt? We see him once, twice, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there a 7? There is a 7. Is there an 8? There's an 8. Is there going to be a 9th? Is that him? That's not him, that's a wall. 9. We see him note 10. We see him 10 times in this one row of booths. But just to the right of that, we have this cool wall design and this commentary box, which for once actually looks like a commentary box. I have no idea what this says on this wall. If you're Turkish, please tell me. And I love this wall design as well, with the Fenerbahce badge plastered all over it. It looks very modern, and it probably is, because I imagine this stadium is kind of new. And over here we also have this Turkish flag, and for once a stadium has yellow stairs, and it doesn't look awful, because Fenerbahce are yellow. The Colosseum, the home of Getafe, and one of the best looking stadiums in FC26. You would think this amount of colour, the blue and the green, would make you look sick or feel sick, but in my opinion, I absolutely love it. The blue and green work together perfectly as small stands. Yes, if this stadium had like 40,000 capacity and was blue and green, maybe then it would look awful, but for now, it's okay. I don't know what this surrounding area is though. It looks like Mongolia. I don't know why it's here. This side over here does look like a little bit more of a Spanish city though, but still, this ground, it looks so bad. And it's not even that. Look at this surrounding area over here. This is by far the worst we have seen today. Look at it. The ground, the floating buildings, which, yes, perspective, but those buildings are tiny. They're all the same. They all look awful. And they all look like I'm going to stay in there for 60 years and never come out. Next we have the Coventry Building Society Arena, which looks absolutely amazing. First we have this roof design, which is kind of like Anfield with the gaps in between. Slightly like Anfield. It's a little bit like Anfield. This type of mesh wall also looks very, very good in my opinion. But the best part of this stadium is the outside of it. And obviously, we can't see outside, so I'm going to have to put a picture up on the screen right now. And you can see just how goofy it looks. But it also looks pretty nice at the same time. Craven Cottage, another one of my favourite football stadiums in the Premier League, and I'll show you exactly why. As we float over to this corner, you see we just have a Craven, and obviously it's called Craven Cottage because this cottage is called Craven, funny enough. And this cottage is one of the most historic places for football in England, even though the roofs are dirty. Other than that, honestly, the stadium is quite boring. The stands are boring. The roof is boring. It's boring. We do have this corner over here where these just random balconies are, and some Londonish looking houses are, and that's because we're in London. And you can just about see out of this corner as well, and then I imagine that is probably the Thames River. If it is, I guess well done to EA. Dequip, or Dequeep, I'm not sure how to say this one, maybe I'm embarrassing myself, but there we go. The home of Feyenoord. It holds 47,000 people and is a beautiful wonder of a stadium. But with the big stadiums, there's never too much to actually explore, sadly. And this dugout is one of the biggest dugouts in football history. There's at least 40 seats, that's not even including these little chairs, in the dugout. At least 40, and with those little seats, it's got to be at least 60. Insane. But other than that, there's not much else to see apart from this roof. And this is the first time we have seen this type of roof today. A slanted roof. And, oh, it might be better than a curved one. Other than that, we have this massive moat around the stadium to stop fans from coming onto the pitch. And I love this bridge. I don't know why, but I love it. It's red. It's black. I love it. The Deutsche Bank Park, another massive stadium. This time, it's being the home of Frankfurt. The stand design is stunning. The roof design is also wonderful. And just like that American stadium, they have a floating box. But just as usual with the bigger stadiums, there's not really too much else to see. Like, we can see trees outside of the stadium, but that's not the most crazy thing of all time. You have this tunnel here, which is blue. It's very blue, actually. But if I'm being very picky, this dugout is so incredibly boring. Like, if we look at the massive stadium around it, the huge roofs, the floating box, the massive stands, and we've just got this boring dugout. Like, come on. Make it a little bit better. So boring. They could have spent a little bit more money on the dugout, in my opinion. The Dignity Health Sports Centre, the home of LA Galaxy. And I'm not going to lie, this was pretty weird. First of all, if we look at the surrounding area, it's just so barren. There's just concrete, trees, and some random houses or buildings placed wherever they want to. This corner of the stadium is exactly the same, even more barren actually, but there is a bush here, which they seem to put more effort into this bush than they did the rest of the surrounding area. We once again have booths scattered all across the stadium on both floors, and of course, they have the same exact area as always, because EA don't know how to make differences. They also have some canopies. I think they're called canopies anyway, but I have no idea why they're here. Like, just watch the game like a normal human being. Stop trying to be special. And another room with all the same interiors. How many doors does this room have, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doors for one room. Like, are we the back rooms now, or what? There's some more canopies. There's, like, look at that ground over there. That just looks... that looks awful. We've got this building here, which may be a toilets, but they don't really look like toilets, to be fair. Donbass Arena, the home of Shakhtar Donetsk, holds 52,000 people, and it looks incredibly beautiful. The roof is absolutely crazy, and the amount of orange is lovely to the eye. They've even got black and orange nets. That's 10 out of 10 already. No other stadium today has had different coloured nets. It just sucks that the rest of the stadium kind of lacks a bit of colour. Like, the dugout even has black and orange colours to it. If the rest of the stadium walls and the floor were black and orange, genuinely, this would be the best stadium in the world. The Dusseldorf Arena, the home of Dusseldorf. And it's just another beautiful stadium. The roof is a unique design. It looks a bit chunky, and I quite like chunky roofs. And this time we have booths, but there is no interior to them at all. So EA, I think they forgot to add them. So I believe they're just stuck in there for eternity. The dugout is incredibly basic. I love the tunnel and the stairs, but the actual dugout, that is so boring and basic. And the green wall up here just kind of annoys me, because the rest of the stadium are red, black, white, and this wall is just green. It's actually annoying. Al Alcaraz, the home of second division team in Spain, Huesca. And wow, there's a lot to explore in this one. The whole side of this surrounding area just has a wall there for no apparent reason at all. It's one of the most randomly placed walls I have ever seen, and it even has a tree growing through it. We've got mountains in the back, which make me think it's Area 51, and those trees down there, man, just delete them. But to the left of that, we have this incredibly cool building, but I can't go high enough to see it because there are these trees in the way. And by the way, all the trees are floating. So if they weren't floating, I would actually be able to see the building. But let's talk more about the stadium now. It is very small and compact, but I love it. The dugout is also extremely tiny, but I do very much love the stairs and the design of the floor. The building design over here is pretty cool as well, blue and white to match the rest of the stadium. And can you imagine sitting on these 3 seats here? That'd be some of the most lonely, but probably amazing times. And this corner we're floating over to now, it literally has nothing in it. It is literally the most boring corner in FC26, but that is why I love it. And there are some trees behind it, which look just awful. Elland Road, the penultimate stadium we have for today, and you can't really see too much of the surrounding area other than some little buildings here and some big, I imagine they're flats over there. Other than that, the stadium just looks very nice, and as a Chelsea fan, I hate to say it, but Leeds have a beautiful stadium. This like triple tier stand here, absolutely wonderful. The roof looks nice. Everything just looks nice. So technically, does that make it boring? I think so. And the last stadium today the Emirates. And honestly, there is nothing to see here. We can see a couple of building tops outside of the stadium, but that is about it. The dugout is very cool though, and the tunnel, the iconic tunnel, but EA need to get rid of the, I don't know what it would be called, the actual tunnel part, the metal tunnel. They need to get rid of that for FC27, because Mikel Arteta, we need to get rid of the tunnel. But yeah, the stands are absolutely beautiful. We've got like 4-tiered stands, and yeah. Even as a Chelsea fan, you have to say, even if a Spurs fan, even you can be any fan in the world, you have to say the Emirates is one of the greatest stadiums we will ever see. First stadium we're exploring today is the home of Mallorca, Stadi Mallorca Son Moy. I'm going to say it now, there's going to be some bad pronunciations, so please let me off. It holds 26,020 fans, making it the 26th largest stadium in Spain. And it has so much potential. First of all, this roof is a little bit boring, I won't lie, but look, the stadium's tiny, I'll let them off. I much prefer when roofs go all the way around the stadium, but not every team can afford that luxury. But if they were to expand their stadium in this open area, like a big curved stand here, it would make the stadium look so much better. And over here we've got loads of booths, and let's see how many times we can see that man with a black and white striped shirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that him again? No, that's a TV screen. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's crazy. But if we do look at the surrounding area, it does kind of look like Spain. Those buildings look like Spain, and we've even got a car park, which I guess is pretty cool. And I guess these are toilets, but they seem to be the smallest toilets ever known to man. There must be about 1 urinal in there, and I don't know where the women are going to go toilet. But this part over here is by far the best part of the stadium. The booths on those pillars, and the roof is green. If the roof was red, it would make it 10 times better, and I don't even know why it's green in the first place. But yeah, you don't really see this at all in any stadium, so Mallorca, congratulations. And they even have just normal sofas and chairs down there, so it looks pretty relaxing, to be honest. I love the dugout too, and how the rooms behind the dugout actually have interiors and furniture, which is genuinely the first time EA have ever done that. And I love how this little area next to the dugout also has its own little cover. It's pretty cute, to be honest. Estadio Abanca Balados, the home of Celta Vigo. And it has some of my favourite details in the game. First of all, we just have this fully open area covered with concrete. Like, did EA forget to put stuff here? Because I can't imagine this is what it looks like in real life. But at least they put trees here, and funny enough, that tree is halfway in the ground. Well done, EA. And we also have this staircase right here. It's one of the most out-of-place things in this stadium. Like, imagine sitting right at the top and you've got to go up this perilous staircase. On a windy day, you might fall off. But the roof, I know I said I didn't like roofs when they don't connect to the rest of the stadium, but this is different. A coloured roof makes any roof 10 times better. And on the other side of the stand, we have the exact same staircase. But below the roof, we have some booths which don't have interiors this time. Normally, they have a TV screen in them, they look green and brown, but nope, this one is just complete solitary confinement. I mean, these four, I don't think they're booths, but they're just blacked out. And of course, we have the same people as always, same black and white striped shirt man. He's right next to each other, right there. But moving away from the booths, we see this other roof, just like a little bit lower than the other one, but it looks even better. I love how it's slightly diagonal and it gets bigger as it goes down. Like it looks beautiful from the side. But before we get to the next stadium, remember to like, subscribe and comment down below your favourite stadium in this video. The Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano, the first women's football stadium we have explored yet. And it's honestly one of my favourite stadiums to explore in the game, but for all the wrong reasons. First of all, it only holds 5,797 people, and the stadium is so small it only has 2 stands. But the dugout is absolutely boring and awful. Like, this part's not even being used. And the roof around the stadium is practically non-existent. There might as well not be a roof, if I'm being honest. But for the first time in a very, very long time, the surrounding area looks very, very good. And that's because we're in Madrid. Even on the other side too, we just see loads of training grounds, and they look great. But this grass, or lack of grass, down here, looks horrible. It looks like the ground below it hasn't had rain in 100 years, and the grass is floating. But to be fair, I wouldn't want to touch the ground either. And I've just clocked onto something. This car park is bigger than the football stadium. In the distance, we've got some skyscrapers. I imagine that probably is Madrid. I don't really know, to be honest, but you know, Madrid centre, well, maybe. And surprisingly, we've actually got some booths in the stadium. This stadium being as small as it is, I would expect 0 booths, but same black and white striped man as always. And this booth doesn't have anybody in it. Maybe if they have 3 more people, they could hold 6,000. This grass area here, though, needs something. It looks so boring, like a Real Madrid badge, some flowers, just anything to make it look a little less boring. It could be artificial grass, but get artificial flowers. And out here, we've just got these people standing and watching through that gate. Like, these boys could not afford a ticket. And I've just noticed that man is the same exact man, but in a different outfit. EA! You're so lazy! Estadio Benito Villamarin, the home of Real Betis. It holds 60,000 people and is one of the best stadiums in Spain. As we float around the stadium, you can see just how truly beautiful it actually is. The triple-tiered stands are wonderful. It's a shame that these don't connect. That would make it a million times better, but they don't, so who cares? We can just about see outside of the stadium, but it's nothing special. We see the void, a floating tree, some concrete, and some stairs. Other than that, there's really not much else to see, other than just some more booths, which are what I imagine to have the same people in as always, and the dugout, which is okay. It's about like a 7 out of 10. I don't mind it. Estadio Ciutat de Valencia, the home of Levante. And it's definitely something. First of all, we have all of these surrounding buildings that do look very Spanish, and that's because we're in Spain. We've also got this building here with solar panels on it, which is pretty cool. This is probably the first time EA have ever put solar panels in a FIFA game. And the actual stadium is pretty damn tiny. Even the roof is boring. That shows you that this stadium is just kind of meh. I would even go to say that the mountains in the back are more interesting than the actual stadium. And funny enough, the mountains look Spanish. Estadio Al Sadar, the home of Osasuna in Spain. This stadium has a beautiful roof. Other than that, it just looks like a normal football stadium. And that's not me saying it's bad, it just doesn't look unique. There are triple-tiered stands, though, which are pretty cool for a team that aren't that big like Osasuna, so congratulations to them. But yeah, like I said, there really isn't much else to see. There's some booths over here, and for once, the black and white striped man is not in there, but bold men are there instead. Anyway, like I said, there's not much to see. The roof is beautiful. On to the next stadium. Estadio Jose Zorrilla, the home of Valladolid, is one of the coolest looking stadiums in this game. The amount of purple in this stadium is absurd, but I love it. This is what more teams should do, just make colours overwhelming. Like, just make purple, just make yellow, red, orange, just make colours. It's what England don't have, like a team that really cares about colours. Like, I want Wolves to just have, like, orange stairs, orange walls, orange floors, orange goalposts. Like, I mean, you probably can't have orange goalposts, but maybe a net. In my personal opinion, it makes the stadium so much better when it's actually cared about and has the team colours in it. We've got loads of booths up here as well. Like, by loads, I mean literally covers half of the entire stadium. And I am not counting how many times I see a bold man. And over the top of this wall, we can see some buildings. And funny enough, they do all look Spanish. Who would have thought? But yeah, this is by far the best looking stadium we have seen today. This purple is just Estadio Ricardo Ibercini, or the Estadio Libertadores America, is genuinely insane. The last stadium we explored was beautiful, but this one is just sexy. The stands in the corners are absolutely beautiful. I love them. The booths in between the two stands as well, they don't look awful. They actually have fans in them for once. Like, well done, EA. Finally, you've discovered how to not use PNGs. And I haven't even got to the best part yet. Look at the dugout. Look at the tunnel. It's got the badge design over it. Why don't more teams do this? This stadium. It might be better than the last one, but that purple was lovely. But this tunnel design by itself is so hot. Anyway, on to the next stadium before I stay here for the rest of my life and look at that tunnel. The tunnel's even padded. The tunnel's even padded. Guys, I want to be in there. Estadio Martínez Valero, the home of Elche in Spain, is beautiful. And every single Spanish stadium we've explored today so far has been perfect. But this stadium does very much look like the Real Betis one, just with like one less extra stand. Which definitely isn't a bad thing, but I'll tell you what is a bad thing. This scoreboard, it does not look pretty. The dugout is okay, the tunnels are quite interesting. I don't really like how the teams come out of two separate tunnels. I want them to be close together, like sardines. Up here's the commentary box. Well, not all of it's a commentary box, but I'm not exploring it that close, because as you can see, I think this one's a commentary box, because I can see people wearing black, and then over here, people are still wearing black. I don't know which one the commentary box is. But just below the commentary box is actually a very cool place to watch football. Like, look at that. You're just sitting there with, like, nobody in front of you, nobody behind you. You have a bit of freedom, and you can just see the football perfectly. That is probably the best place to watch football in this stadium. But yeah, this stadium is pretty much just a worse version of Real Betis, but it's not bad at all. It's just a little boring. Estadio Mestalla, the home of Valencia, is one of my favourite stadiums in the world. The infrastructure on this stadium is absolutely wonderful, and the cards that the fans are holding are literally perfect. All I need to show you is this, the Valencia badge with the bat. Genuinely, this is the best stadium in the world just because of that. The red, the orange, the blue, the black, the yellow. Look at this whole stadium. I don't even need to commentate over this. I could just make an hour-long video of me floating around this stadium. But, oh, it's so hot. And even without the cards, the stadium still looks great. The orange stairs to match the... Well, let's get the orange cards back, please. Okay, well, they're not coming back. But the orange stairs are so good. And the orange stairs with the black walls, like, this stadium is orange and black, and that I love those two colours. This is the best stadium in Spain by far, and top 5 stadiums in the world, easily. We can see slightly out of the stadium, but it's nothing special, there's just a couple of buildings. Estadio Nuevo Los Caminas, the home of Granada in Spain, holds exactly 21,600 spectators, and there's quite a lot for us to explore. Firstly, around the surrounding area, we have the same exact mountains that EA always use, no matter what country we're in. If we look past the stands this way, we see some Spanish buildings, and, well, we are in Spain, so congratulations for that one. But talking about the actual stadium now, we have a beautiful red roof, triple-tiered stands. We have this cool tifo, which I think that says hello or welcome in like 4 different languages. Obviously, that won't be in Saudi. And then in this corner, once again, I imagine it's Mandarin. I don't know, but I imagine it is. And in that corner, we've got English, of course. I can speak that one. But I just love it how the team plays really much into the stadium being the same colour as the team colours. Yes, the stairs could have been red, but hey, this team isn't the richest team of all time. They're not going to have red stairs. But something that's completely ugly are these green windows. Like, why are they green? It's so bad. But something that completely makes up for that are these little booths on top of the stadium. Like, they look so cool. I'd love to... Look at the guy in the corner up there. But I'd love to watch the game from one of these booths. Even if it looks like an insane asylum in there, because there's nothing in there. There's no windows either. Like, if that door gets shut behind you, you're stuck in there for eternity. Estadio On Time Batarqui is the home of 2nd Division Spain side Leganes. And this stadium is just so puzzling to me. First, we have a stadium that looks pretty nice. It's very, very tiny, but it's just a nice, homely looking stadium. The dugout does kind of scream Sunday League though. This corner too is just completely empty. There's just some stairs and a bin. But as we also look out to the surrounding area, none of this makes sense. Like, was it an airfield that just isn't used anymore? And why are there just buildings there? And the buildings aren't just there, they surround the entire surrounding area completely. From there to where we just saw, and then again, all the way round back to the airfield. EA! More buildings exist in Spain than just that white one. Even this area back here, like, it doesn't look too bad because at least there's grass here, but why is there grass like that? That doesn't make any sense. That building in the back does look pretty cool, but is it even supposed to look like that? With EA, you have no idea. And this whole area just reminds me of Area 51. Like, it just looks awful. Estadio Presidente, the home of Racing Club in Argentina, is one of the craziest stadiums in the world. As we float around, just look how insane and huge this stadium truly is. This could be the best looking football stadium in the world. And just look at that pillar, man. Oh, the roof design is kind of basic, but I still love it. The stadium is so big that you can't just have a massive roof all the time. This place is also pretty cool down here. It's a wheelchair ramp, so the wheelchair users can get to watch the game, but it looks like none of them turned up for this one. Of course there are booths, and of course they're the same interiors and the same people as always, but I'm not going to let it get to me this time. Estadio Presidente is just too beautiful to focus on a couple of booths. But if I'm being very, very picky, the dugout is so boring. Like, it's so far away from the tunnel, which, by the way, there is no tunnel. But I absolutely love it how the players just come from underground. Like, you just don't need to, but it's wonderful, and it never happens in England, because, once again, you don't need to. This very much could be my favourite stadium we've explored today, just by how big it is, but, ooh, Estadio Mestalla is still great. Estadio San Mamés. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but oh my, it looks incredible. First of all, the roof design and the infrastructure, it looks so over the top and insane, but I love it because of that. I love the black walls at the top of the stadium as well. It just makes the stadium look so much more darker, and I love a dark stadium. We've got triple tiered stands as well, even though the middle stand is extremely tiny, but I like small stands. We've obviously got booths behind that middle stand, nothing special as always, same people, same interiors, but the booths do go all the way around the entire stadium. I absolutely love the top stand, how it kind of curves down. It really, really reminds me of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Other than that, there's not really much else to see, just a beautiful stadium. Like, so many stadiums today have been just beautiful, and I like it. It's Santiago Bernabeu. We all know who plays here, and it's one of the most iconic stadiums ever seen in football. Holding a grand total of 84,000 fans, it's one of the biggest stadiums in the world. And that obviously means that there isn't really much to see, but the stadium does have 5 tiered stands, which is insane. There aren't many booths in the stadium apart from the ones just back there, but for once, there's no PNGs in them. There's actual fans sitting in them. So congratulations, EA. Well done. But if I'm being very, very picky, the dugout is so boring for such a historic team in a beautiful stadium. The roof of the dugout is absolutely wonderful, but the actual dugout, pretty damn boring. Estadio de Gran Canaria is one of the most beautiful stadiums in the game, if you like yellow. The yellow and blue stairs perfectly match with the cards the fans are holding, and altogether it looks beautiful, but the stadium is absolutely filled with booths. This whole area up here are just booths. I'm not counting how many times I see that one man again. It will take me forever. And I don't know if this is some type of VIP area, but it just looks so incredibly out of place. Like, why are they holding cards? Because it just doesn't look good in my opinion. The roof is also not very interesting, it's just a boring roof. But if we go to the right of the roof, we see this green tube. Like, what is this? The surrounding area also looks very, very weird. Like, there's some cool looking buildings, but these mountains, they don't look the best. And look at this over here. It's It's just a single tree. You know what? That might be the thumbnail for this video, because there's just a single tree in the middle of nowhere. And there's also a red tube, but that blue building, or whatever it is, it could be a hotel, it could be anything, but it does look pretty cool, to be fair. And the houses behind this stand do look Spanish, and, well, we are in Spain, so that would make sense. There's a massive building over there as well, which I've got absolutely no idea, once again, what it is, because it's so big, I don't know. But this green tube is just so confusing to me. Anyway, on to the next stadium. Estadio de Méndez Azora is the home of Deportivo Alaves, and it sure is an interesting specimen. The roof is absolutely lovely. I love the white. I love how it kind of curves to match the camera, the screen, whatever it would be called. But other than that, I'm not going to lie, there is absolutely nothing to see in this stadium. I don't even think there's a booth. I mean, these are kind of booths, but they're also not, because they're just one big stand. So there's literally not even a booth in this stadium, which is crazy. I guess the dugout is okay. The tunnel looks good, but dugout, it could be better, but it could be a lot worse. So, yeah, nothing to see in this stadium. On to the next. Estadio de Montilivi, the home of Girona, is absolutely tiny. It holds just over 14,600 people, which is crazy. This team was in the Champions League not too long ago. But I won't lie, I absolutely love it. Especially this part with the trees and the grass behind the stadium and the stand. It looks great. And even though the stadium looks tiny, it is definitely not awful. But I don't know why that roof is orange instead of red. And I've got absolutely no idea what this building could be. It doesn't look like anything that I've ever seen before. This building over here too, that looks like a airport, like runway person thingy, whatever it's called. A tower, whatever they're called, but it looks like one of them. Maybe it is. But this is the most confusing part of this stadium by far. Like, EA, is this a road? Is this a river? What am I looking at right now? Because it doesn't look like a road, that's for sure. We also have some booths next to the commentary box, and these booths are absolutely tiny. Like, look at them over there, just peeking over the top. And this is another part which I just don't understand. Like, it looks like a ski ramp, but surely it's got to be a road. And the lampposts are in the middle of it. This is just so confusing to me. I don't know, EA, man, what are you doing? Estadio de Vallecas, the home of Rayo Vallecano, is another absolutely tiny stadium holding just over 14,700 people. It's so small, there isn't a full stand. But this wall is pretty damn cool, to be fair. With it being orange and white, especially with these buildings behind it too, it looks pretty. And even though this stand is tiny, it's still got 3 tiers, which you've got to respect. The surrounding area over this way doesn't look too bad, but we can't see it. Like, we just can't see it, because there are all these trees in the way. Maybe these trees are here in real life, or EA is just hiding their lazy work. Both are plausible. But this dugout might just be the saddest thing I have ever seen in my life. There's just, like, look at these 2 seats here. This stadium. Ooh, this stadium is beautiful, but this dugout might be the worst one we've ever seen. And there's no tunnel too, so I don't even know where the players come out. There's a tunnel over here, but it's covered by advertisement boards, so I have no idea. Estadio de la Ceramica, the home of Villarreal. And it's very, very yellow, but this time, I don't like it. I know I said the teams should integrate like more colours into the stadiums, but this one, it just looks like pee. The structure of the whole stadium is completely fine. Like, I love how it's built, but the colour, it just does not look good at all. Like, I really like this part down here, where it's just like a single row of seats. I'd love to watch the football game from here, but luckily there's no yellow around them, so I'd very much like to be here, actually. And the dugout too is just completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing amazing that I'm going like, oh, this is the greatest dugout I've ever seen. It's okay. But I just can't stop thinking about this colour of this roof and stadium. It looks disgusting. It needs to drink water. We have to move on to the next stadium. I cannot stay here any longer. Estadio José Alvalade, the home of Sporting and the first Portuguese stadium we're exploring so far. And it is absolutely massive. The stadium is beautiful with the top part being yellow and the underneath being green, with those pillars and the wires as well in every single corner. It looks wonderful. And with the cards here, it looks even better. The only thing I would do is change the stairs to maybe green, but maybe that would be too much green. But this part down here is very cool. Obviously, it's to stop the fans from coming onto the stadium and streaking or doing whatever they want to do. But it's very, very cool. And I do like this yellow door, which looks absolutely crazy. And the dugout too might be one of the best we've seen today so far. I love the circular ends with the sporting badge on the end. It looks wonderful. More teams should do this. Make circular ends. Not everything has to be square. Or you can see his hair through the... But the tunnel is where I love it. Look, it comes from underground. Well, not underground, but it goes upstairs. So it comes from down under and goes up. So yeah, tunnel, absolutely lovely. Roof, lovely. Other than that, I mean, it's a huge stadium. Well, there's not really much else to see. This area is pretty cool. So, yeah, that's cool, I guess. Estadio Dragão, the home of Porto, is a spectacle of football stadiums. The roof design and the supporting beams, it could genuinely be the best we have ever seen. The stands aren't too crazy apart from the top one, which I do very much love, but this roof by itself, it curves, and well, I loved curved roofs, so yeah, this could be the best roof we have seen ever. But other than that, the stadium isn't overly exciting in any way, shape or form, it's just a normal stadium, I guess. The dugout as well, it does not look too good, I won't lie. It's very weird, like, why are we sitting on gaming chairs? But in the surrounding area, we have a bridge, or what I can imagine to be a bridge. That could be the first time EA have ever put a bridge into a FIFA game. But other than that, the surrounding area looks completely fine, for once. Even this area over here, it just looks like it's full of offices, and that wall is pretty damn cool, actually. I want to know what that building is. Estadio SL Benfica. Obviously, the home of Benfica. And oh my god, it is another perfect stadium with an even better roof than before. There's even arches on every single part of the roof, and this little connecting area in between is so beautiful. And the stadium even has 3 or 4 tiered stands, which this could genuinely be the best Portuguese stadium in the world, or at least the best looking one. The dugout is okay, there's nothing crazy about it. The badges are cool, the roof, or the cover of the dugout is cool, but I don't know, there's just something a little bit boring about the dugout. But the tunnel. More teams need to just have their badges on the tunnel, and have a tunnel like this, because this is so fun. This is such a fun way to show that you actually want to play football and not just some boring club. Like most English clubs, or every English club, there is not a single English club in this world, well, in England, that has a tunnel that looks this good. We need it. Hello, my friend down here, how are you doing? But yeah, I could stare at this roof for the rest of my life, I believe. Look at that by itself. That looks absolutely wonderful. Anyway, on to the next stadium. The Etihad, one of the most beautiful and iconic stadiums of our generation. Holding exactly 53,400 fans, it's one of the biggest stadiums in the country. And with that, it also means there's really not much to explore. Obviously, we have beautiful roofs as expected. But really, other than that, there isn't much else to see. There's triple tiered stands, which is pretty cool. I would expect maybe 4 tier stands, but, we've got a couple balconies scattered across the stadium, like this one over here, and this one on the other side of the stadium, funny enough. And the dugout as well, which is pretty impressive. But other than that, nothing else to see. There's no booths in this stadium, or at least if there is, I can't see them. But anyway, on to the next stadium we go. Europa Park Stadion, weirdly the home of Freiburg. I'm not too sure why it's called that. The roof is very cool though, with how it's pretty much flat. I love it. We haven't seen many flat roofs, and sometimes you need to appreciate the flat ones too. The dugout is pretty boring though, I will not lie. The tunnel, it's pretty much not a tunnel either. There are some booths back here with all the same interiors. It looks like it has a fish tank or a bar, one of them, but Yeah, as per usual, we see all the same people. Nothing interesting about these booths anymore, because it's just the same people over and over again, because EA are lazy. Ewood Park, the home of Blackburn, and honestly, it's very nostalgic seeing anything from Blackburn, because my, they were in the Prem in my prime. Maybe not my prime, but my childhood. It holds exactly 31,367 people, so it's really not the smallest stadium ever either. The roof design over here is pretty cool with how it's flat but yet there's a little arch on the top, and how it connects with the ground just off this side of the stadium. I actually really love it. It looks neat. But look how dirty these roofs are. And these ones down here. Lads, clean your stadium. Those walls are dirty. They need a power wash simulator. Like right here. Look at... In this corner we see a bus, some cars, some trees which actually don't look awful for once, and another incredibly dirty stadium. Roof, I mean. Out this corner we see some more dirty walls, another bus, and some pretty English looking houses, apart from the windows. The windows are just weird. I don't know how... that doesn't make any sense. The dugout is very much okay. It's a bit advanced for... I say advanced for Blackburn. They're in the Championship. It's not like they're in League One, but you know what I'm trying to say. And we also have booths the entire way down this stadium, see? Black and white striped shirt man, and he doesn't appear that much. But yes, the black and white striped man he's here, he is back, but I am not counting him again, because I could do a count, and it would be over 200, because EA only use him. Because he seems to be the only man in the world. Fratton Park, the home of Portsmouth, is one of the most iconic and historic stadiums in England. And with that fact, it also means there's not anything modern, or at least too modern, for us to see. For example, the roof is extremely basic, but I still personally really like it. This part of the surrounding area looks very, very good, with a lot of English-looking houses, but there are no paths or roads, so that does confuse me. But as we float over here, you will see exactly what my biggest problem is with this stadium, is just this massive concrete area with nothing in it, apart from some trees which look awful, but look at that. And by the way, what is that mountain supposed to be? Is it supposed to be a mountain? Is it supposed to be trees? Is it supposed to be a rubbish pile? Because I don't know what it is. In this corner, we do have some pretty cool looking buildings, especially that big blue and white one in the background. It could be a travel lodge. It probably is. But this corner, we just have a building which looks like a prison. There's no other way to make a joke about it. It just looks like a prison. As you could expect, a stadium like Portsmouth doesn't really have any booths. But once again, it does have a dugout which is just very much okay. There's nothing wrong with it, there's nothing crazy, it's just a normal English dugout. Goodison Park, the former home of Everton, and I don't know why it's even in this game. But I have to explore it anyway. First of all, the dugout, it just looks like a normal English dugout, but the area behind it looks pretty cool. It seems like there could be booths. No, that is the commentary box, never mind. But the stands look perfectly fine. The roof is cool, slanted, but it doesn't look awful. The surrounding area over in this direction, it looks pretty British, I won't lie. And, well, most of the buildings look incredibly abandoned. But other than that, there's nothing crazy for us to see. I'm just surprised this stadium is even in the game, because obviously Everton don't play here anymore, so why is it here? Past this screen we can just see a wall and some more trees which don't look very good at all. But I do like this corner right here. These are some booths, that's for sure, and I don't know what the building is behind it, but I love it. I love when corners are just have something stupid in them, and this is pretty stupid. So yeah, weirdly, Goodison Park is still in the game, but maybe in FC27 it's not. Groupama Stadium, the home of Lyon is France, is an absolute monstrosity of a football stadium. First of all, the roofs, yeah, they're roofs. They're not the most exciting roofs of all time, but look at these stands. Obviously, the cards make it look better. If I got rid of the cards, it doesn't look as exciting, but okay, the cards haven't come back, that's wonderful. Well, we are getting rid of the cards completely, but the stadium still looks good without the cards, don't get me wrong, but with the cards, it looks amazing. But we've got quadruple tiered stands, like, This stadium holds 60,000 people, by the way. It is it is absolutely, it's bigger than the Etihad, which is crazy to think. We've got these cool areas with these pillars, and I can't actually see what's there because it's so dark, but it does look pretty cool. I think in every corner we're probably going to have these. Yeah, we do. It looks so cool. Yeah, this is just one confusing dugout. The tunnel looks okay, but yeah, this dugout is so confusing. But how can we even think about the dugout when there's just 4 stands to explore? And by the way, there are booths the entire way around this middle stand, or at least the third stand anyway. The middle one, well, obviously not there, but all the way around the stadium are booths, and I am not exploring them all because that would take me way too long. But Groupama Stadium, at least an 8 out of 10. With the cards, 9, but we can't see the cards anymore because EA don't know how to make a game. The final stadium we have today, the G-Tech Community Stadium. One of my favourite stadiums in the game to explore. But wow, this stadium is absolutely packed with things for us to see. First, we have this building, which looks like a mix of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Poppy Playtime, which is a crazy mix. We've got all these buildings in the surrounding area, which makes it look like we're in London, and that is because we're in London. We've got this tower here too, which looks absolutely sick. I still don't know what it is. Maybe someone has told me and I forgot, but tell me again, please. We've got these buildings down here. I mean, they're houses, but they are really weirdly placed. I don't know why they're there. We've also got these small little booths in here, which we for once don't see a black and white striped man. Even in these ones up here, no black... Oh, never mind. There's a black and white striped man. Never mind. He's back. He's back. He is back. The dugout just looks like a normal Premier League dugout. Nothing fun about it, I'm not going to lie. I really don't like Premier League dugouts. But don't even get me started on this stadium roof. I know it's not curved, but it's not straight either. And I just love the weird shapes. Like, it could just be a normal curved roof here, but the weird shapes just make it look so much better. I love the jagged edges. It looks 10 out of 10. This is definitely top 3 or 5 roofs that we've seen today, and it might even be top 5 roofs of the Premier League. It might even be the second one. So yeah, Community G-Tech Stadium, absolutely wonderful. Obviously, I think they're probably going to have to what's the word? Expand it at some point, because my, it's a pretty small stadium, and they do have space to expand it, apart from maybe that way. First stadium we're exploring today is the Heinz von Heiden Arena in Germany, the home of second division side Hanover. And it is absolutely massive, holding just around 49,000 fans. As we float around the stadium, just look how beautiful it is. The roof kind of reminds me of the London Stadium in England. And I just love how open planned the whole stadium is, especially with these areas down here with just pillars and just massive open areas. It looks pretty cool, to be honest. We can see slightly outside of the stadium, but all the trees are floating, so EA, you might as well not put any trees there. There's loads of booths here too, but it's actually quite hard to see inside of them because the reflections are absolutely insane. And for some reason, this part down here of the stadium is just yellow. There isn't a tint of yellow in the rest of the stadium. Literally none. No yellow, but for some reason, this part down here is yellow. But to be honest, it does look pretty damn cool. Everton's new stadium after moving from Goodison Park. I'm not even too sure if I can even say the name in the first 2 minutes of a YouTube video because they might demonetize me, so I'm just not going to say it. But you know what it is, it's Hill Ington Stadium. It's one of the most recently built stadiums in the world, so it is incredibly modern. The roof is pretty cool. It's not the craziest roof we've ever seen, but it looks okay. The dugout area is completely fine. We see some booths above here as well, with, of course, the same people in, as always, you know, black and white striped shirt man. He is the #1 protagonist of this game. But this area down here is pretty cool. It's the wheelchair section, but it's pretty close to the goal, so they're quite lucky that Timo Werner is no longer in the Prem. Holstein Stadion, the home of, well, Holstein Kiel, unsurprisingly. And oh, it is a tiny, tiny stadium, but I love tiny stadiums, especially when you can see the surrounding area, because I love making fun of EA for that. And as you can see, the surrounding area looks so weird. Because if we zoom in on these bushes down here, they start there and just end right there and don't continue on this whole street, which I'm sure they probably do in real life. And look at those trees, wow. And I'm not going to lie, half of these buildings looks like a camp I can't say the name of. And look at those mountains too in the background. I didn't know the Himalayas were in northern Germany. And this side of the surrounding area is just completely barren. Maybe this is how it looks in real life, but I can almost guarantee my life that it doesn't. But this is by far my favourite stand in this stadium. It's just so out of the way, it's tiny, it's not connected. I absolutely love it. And this part over here too, where there's literally just like 8 seats, but I absolutely love it. If there's a stadium that I want to go to, it's this one. I don't care about the big stadiums, I want the small ones. Pause, hold up. But we even have a food and drink stall here, and you just know the Pepsi from this stall tastes godly. The Home Deluxe Arena, the home of Paderborn in Germany. And firstly, that's a very funny name for a German stadium. Secondly, I absolutely love this stadium. The wall design, which goes around the entire stadium, looks lovely. The roof design is a bit boring, but it's Paderborn. We're not going to have the craziest roof in Paderborn, are we? And I don't know why, but I absolutely love these stairs. Like, they're even kind of ugly, but I love them anyway. The dugout looks pretty good for a small side like Paderborn, though. It does kind of look like a bus stop, though. And the tunnel is pretty much non-existent. The Ibrox, one of the most iconic stadiums in the UK. I mean, look at the colours. That's obviously the UK flag. I don't quite believe that this would be like this in real life, because I don't think they care about the UK, to be honest. But this corner over here is pretty damn clean. This is the away section, and funnily enough, the away section is the best section of the stadium. Because look at the stand. I love how it just kind of diagonally goes up like a triangle. It looks beautiful. The dugout is okay. Once again, it just kind of looks like a bus stop. And the tunnel is pretty thin and flimsy, it looks. We can see a slight surrounding area, but all the buildings just look like they're rotting, so hey, well, we are in Scotland. But the only problem I have with this stadium is that there's just not enough blue. Like, the stairs could be blue, the underside of the roof could be blue, all of the walls could be blue. It could be so much more blue. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that would be too much blue, but I don't know. I think it'd be good. Rangers, make your stadium more blue. Inter Miami Stadium, the home of Inter Miami. And this stadium is so confusing. First of all, let's get to the positives. The pink nets are so cool, but that is the only positive. And for the negatives, we've got this stand here, and it's also on the other side of the stadium as well, but it looks so out of place. Like, they could have just connected the stands together and it would have looked infinitely better, but no. Let's just put a block of concrete here and call it a stand. But the surrounding area does look quite good, but we are in Miami, so I would expect that. Especially this part around here with all of these cars in the car park, the palm trees, the nice looking buildings. It's actually quite nice. But if you look in the distance over there, you will see a floating line. EA, did you maybe forget to remove it? And for once, EA have finally designed a road. Yes, it doesn't look the greatest. Yes, there are lampposts halfway in between of the actual road, so the car's going to crash into it. But hey, at least EA actually tried. It looks awful, but they tried. The Johan Cruyff Arena, one of the greatest stadiums we will ever see. The roof design is, I don't want to swear, but oh my, it is beautiful. And I absolutely love how all the trophies are plastered around the top of the stadium. It looks insanely good. We have some absolutely huge stands, but my personal favourite is this one down here. I'd absolutely love to watch a game from here. Maybe not now, because Ajax aren't too good, but when they get a bit better again. This area up here is pretty cool, the one with the balcony. I love balconies. Balconies are just very cool. But this isn't really a balcony, but let's just call it a balcony. And maybe you'll disagree, but this dugout is extremely boring. The tunnel, it's not really a tunnel, it's more of a stairwell, but that does look pretty cool. But the actual dugout, it's so boring to me. It's very, very underwhelming. Joey Stadium, the home of Manchester City women, and it is absolutely tiny. It holds only 7,000 fans. And every single stand in this stadium is small, especially this one over here. You could probably fit all of these people in a double-decker bus. But the surrounding area floor is by far the worst we have ever seen in any FIFA game in history. And think about how many FIFA games they have, and this is the worst. This is 2026. Well, it's made in 2025, but look, it's awful either way. If I were to show you this ground texture and ask you what it was without you knowing that it's a football stadium surrounding area in a game made by clowns, you wouldn't know what it is. You'd think this is just some PUBG Gmod where I don't even know. It's so bad. It's so bad. Those trees are floating. It's awful. It's honestly like EA didn't even try. And while after exploring pretty much every single stadium in this game, I think it's probably because they don't care anymore. It's like, what's this blue part down here? You can kind of, like, this is a road, obviously, even though there's trees in the middle of the road. The green parts are grass, but what's the blue part? Like, I don't understand. This is by far the most stupid thing I have ever seen in my life. I do not understand. EA, if you're not going to make a good surrounding area, or just a surrounding area with textures that don't look like a kid's made them, just don't make them. But going back to the actual stadium, I could genuinely make a 10-minute video on this stadium alone, which I might genuinely do, because more people need to see this, because this is just embarrassing. But this part down here does look pretty cool with the interior and the furniture. So, EA, I would say you've redeemed yourself, but it's unredeemable. Look how dirty the floor is, by the way. Do these boys or girls not clean? And the dugout. The dugout. It might as well not exist. They might as well just be standing up. It's so awful. Kenilworth Road, the home of Luton. It's one of the most interesting stadiums in England. We all know the stories about how the surrounding area looks like flats and houses, and well, that's because it does. Look at the surrounding area. To be fair to EA, they've done a pretty good job of the surrounding area in this stadium, because it looks exactly like this. It looks... Well, okay, coming around to this side, it does not look like this, but let's just look at the buildings. What is this? Oh, can you not make grass look like a little bit more like grass, not just paint? Oh man, this company. Who's laser, EA or Bethesda or Ubisoft? Oh my god, that's that's a nightmare blunt rotation. But for now, we should care more about the interior, and I absolutely love it. This is my favourite part of the stadium by far. It's another kind of disconnected part of the stadium, just like the one with the Holstein Stadion. And I don't know what it is about stands which are disconnected, other than the Inter Miami Stadium, because that looks awful. But these, I very much like it. And once again, we've just got these... Oh, that kid can't watch the game, because he's stuck behind a wall. Unfortunate. Imagine buying that seat. That can't be there in real life, surely. I absolutely love the orange and blue walls around the entire stadium. The roofs do look a bit dirty. They look very dirty, actually. And the scoreboard, it's just too orange. And the dugout looks completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing like, oh my god, this is the craziest dugout I've ever seen in my life. But it just looks good. That's a cool design. EA, putting the footballs in the bag, that's a cool design. Well done. It's a shame you can't make surrounding areas though. King Fahd Stadium, the home of Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, and it has one of the craziest roofs we will ever see. Imagine falling on one of those spikes. You wouldn't have a good day. The stadium itself is absolutely massive, holding exactly 68,752 people. I mean, just look at the spikes, the roof, the curvature, this design of this wall down here, which kind of looks like if you had a phobia of like small holes, then you would not get along with it. Triphobia. Do not look at this if you've got triphobia, but I don't, so I can. Oh, this area is sick. It looks like it'd be very hot in that booth, I'm not going to lie. Yes, it is a multi-purpose stadium, so the dugouts just have to be here, but they might as well not be here. The King Power Stadium, the home of Premier League champions and soon to be League One side, Leicester. And I'm not going to lie, I do kind of find this stadium pretty boring. The blue is nice, the walls are nice, but I don't know, there's just something about this stadium which is like, yeah, that's pretty damn boring. The roof is also very much okay. I do like the little like points, or I don't know what they'd be called, but yeah, the roof is okay, very much okay. The scoreboard's very much okay, but something I did notice is that there's no booths in this stadium. That's a commentary box, and I don't think these are booths. I think this is just one big hallway. But if there are booths, then hey, okay, you know what? I think these might be booths. I don't think a hallway is going around the whole stadium. So you know what? I was wrong. But one redeeming part of this stadium is the dugout. It does look pretty cool, to be honest. I like how the home dugout is bigger than the away dugout, really to oppose that Leicester are a massive team that's almost about to go into League One. But yeah, that's the only nice part of this stadium apart from the blue stuff. La Bombonera, the home of Boca Juniors in Argentina. It's by far the coolest stadium we have explored today and might even be the coolest stadium we've ever explored. The stands are lovely to look at, the yellow and blue match perfectly with the stadium and of course the club colours. This is the most beautiful, well, maybe not the most beautiful tunnel because the players do come out and then turn, so it's not the most beautiful tunnel we'll see, but it looks nice. If there was a stadium that you could marry, if it's not this one, then what are you doing? You have to marry this stadium. London Stadium, the home of West Ham, and I'll be completely honest, I hate this stadium. It doesn't feel like a football stadium at all, which funny enough, it wasn't even built for that purpose, so I am right. I don't like how far the fans are sitting away from the pitch. I don't like these open areas up here with absolutely nothing in them. I guess the dugout is okay, but it's still just so far away from the actual pitch. Like, you've got to walk 20 miles just to get to the bench, Mr. Nuno. But the roof, the one thing that's redeeming about this stadium is how beautiful the roof is. I mean, being the Olympic Stadium, it had to look good, and my God, it looks good. Lumen Field, the home of Seattle Sounders, is another damn good looking stadium. And the roof, don't even get me started on the roof. The curvature, ooh, the curvature. This stadium reminds me very weirdly of a mix between Wembley and the German Olympic Stadium. With the blue, white and green cards here, it does make the stadium look kind of goofy, but I still love it. We can see a slight bit of the surrounding area, but it's nothing special. It's just big buildings. I mean, and there's a road. EA, you've put another road down, and this time there aren't trees in the middle of the road. So you know what? Well done. And without all of the cards, the stadium does look a little bit less exciting, but it looks okay. The dugout, another bus stop. It's on wheels. It's on wheels. We have a dugout that is on wheels. I'm skipping over the dugout. I hate it. We also have booths. And when I say they're surrounding the entire stadium, I mean there are loads and loads of booths surrounding the entire stadium. I don't know how many booths there are, but if someone somehow knows how many booths there are in this stadium, please tell me down below, because there's got to be at least 200. If La Bombonera wasn't in this video too, Lumen Field probably would have been my favourite, but it's my second favourite so far. Loftus Road, the home of QPR. It's another one of those older stadiums which doesn't have anything insane about them, but that obviously doesn't make it bad. The roof is very much okay. I do like the blue though. And down here we have loads of booths covering the entire stand, but for once, it doesn't look awful. We can also see a slight bit of the surrounding area, but it's the same mountains as always, and there's some buildings as well, which is cool. This area over here is pretty cool with how it's just completely blue, and we can obviously see the commentary box as well, and for once, there's people inside of it. The dugout does kind of look like another bus stop though. It looks like an advanced bus stop, but it still looks like a bus stop. But the coolest part by far is definitely the nets. The black and, or it might be black and white or blue and white. It's blue and white, but the nets, you can get really close to these nets, but yeah, the nets do look pretty cool. Muir Arena, the home of Mainz in Germany. Firstly, we can see some of the surrounding area, as you see over there and to my left over here, but it's just grass, trees, and a bit of concrete. And the roof isn't the most amazing thing we've ever seen. It's pretty cool with the glass design, but other than that, it's just a flat roof, as simple as that, really. In this surrounding area, we can actually see some buildings, but once again, they don't look like anything special. But this area up here is pretty cool. We've got loads and loads of booths the whole way down this stand. We've even got some down here, and this left one has nobody in it. And with the cards, this stadium looks absolutely amazing. Without them, it doesn't quite look as cool. I mean, it still looks okay, but yeah, it will just never look as good without the cards. The MHP Arena, the home of Stuttgart. And it's got one of my favourite roofs we have explored so far. The design on the underneath is trippy, but it looks wonderful. Other than that, I won't lie, this stadium is kind of boring. With the cards, of course, the stadium looks great, but the cards aren't going to be there for the whole 90 minutes. And if we get rid of them, it just looks pretty boring, if I'm being completely honest. Even the dugout too, it's not very exciting, and the tunnel just looks kind of weird. It's glass, which is cool, but it just looks weird in my opinion. But that could be the first glass tunnel we have seen in FC26, so if it is, then you know what, fair enough, the tunnel is pretty cool. We can see a slight bit of the surrounding area, but it's nothing special, just awful trees and grass as always, really. The MKM Stadium, the home of championship side Hull. Firstly, we must look at the roof, because this little arch here is also on this side of the roof over here, but it looks absolutely wonderful. And another part of the roof which I love is not all on one level, which genuinely could be the first time we have seen that, but whew, it looks beautiful. And I honestly didn't even see this commentary box when I was writing the script for this video, but what is that? But the reason I'm focusing so much on the roof is that the rest of the stadium is pretty boring, I won't lie. The orange kits are nice, but that's not part of the stadium. I mean, even look at the dugout, it's a year away from the pitch. The tunnel is massive as well, like, I do like big tunnels, but this might be too big. Home of the Tigers. That's kind of cringe. The Max Morlock Stadium, the home of Nuremberg in Germany. By the way, that's an amazing stadium name. But it's not just an amazing stadium name, it's an amazing stadium. Look at that roof, it's got 2 different layers to it. It looks beautiful. And it's not like a bowl, it's not a circle, it's not a square, it's a hexagon of a stadium. It's, wow, that might be the first hexagon stadium we've ever seen. And I don't normally like it when there are gaps in the stadium stands, but I think these are just completely fine, to be honest. They don't look awful, they don't look too great. But they're alright. And there is no way this is a stand. There's no way that this is a stand. There are fans sitting in there, but why is that there? Why is that there? It's just 3 people. It's a 3 people stand. And that does not look like that kid, by the way. But once again, the actual dugout looks pretty cool, but I just don't like how it's placed. Obviously, you know, multi-purpose stadium and all that jumble bumble, but I still don't like it. But yeah, other than the dugout, this stadium is absolutely wonderful, and that and that stand over there is just funny. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of Atlanta, and in my opinion, this is by far the greatest looking stadium in the world. The only other stadium that I think rivals it is the Metropolitano of Atletico Madrid. The roof design is absolutely impeccable. Look at it. Look at how over-designed it is. I love it. It's so messy, but also so tidy at the same time, and it just looks beautiful. I want to know, how long did it take to build that roof? Because, oh my god, that must be insane. And I don't know if you've seen, but this can actually like retract, like it goes in and out. It looks so cool. Search it up. Search it up. I probably can't put a video up because it'll get copywritten by someone, because, you know, someone owns this roof. But go to search it up. It looks so cool. Like the cards of the gradient of colour looks so cool. That looks amazing. The walls are perfect. Everything in this stadium is perfect apart from the dugout. The dugout is... it's very much okay. It looks cool with the black seats, but I don't know, it's lacking something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a roof or just like a bit of colour. Maybe if the floor was red, it would be cooler. But I don't know. The dugout's kind of mid. But when we've got a beautiful stadium like this, the last thing I want to look at is the dugout. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. Oh. Millantor Stadion, the home of St. Pauli in Germany. And this stadium is Booth City. Just take a moment to look at how many booths we have around this stadium. This whole row here, booths. That area there, booths. Up there, booths all around the stadium. And guess what? There's no booths in this part though. The coloured walls and just the whole design of this stadium is lovely. But please, someone tell me what that is up there, because it looks so cool. The surrounding area over here looks very nice as well. We've got what I can believe is a cathedral in the back and just some parks. No clue what this area is, but it just looks very cool. I imagine that's also their training ground right there, but I really like this. I love it. The roof is okay, but when we've got actually a nice surrounding area for once, the roof is the last thing I care about, to be honest. The scoreboard is... well, it's a scoreboard. It's not quite amazing, and the surrounding area, once again, is a bit... It's okay. Like, the grass could look better, the roads could look better, but it looks better than a lot of things we've seen. And I absolutely love this kind of area down here where there's just one row of seats and there's just these two people here. I'm sure that in real life these seats are probably not here, but in the game they are, because EA, well, unless they're actually there in real life, then EA, congratulations, but I can imagine they're not, so EA, you're stupid. The Molineux, one of my personal favourite stadiums in the Premier League, but sadly, they're not going to be in the Premier League next season. The roof isn't the most spectacular thing we've ever seen, but I do like the orange, or it kind of looks more like yellow, but I imagine it probably is orange in real life. But this part here is so weird to me. Like, the rest of the whole stadium has roofs over it, but this one part doesn't. Imagine it's raining, and you're the only people getting wet in the stadium. The surrounding area is a bit... I'm sure this isn't how Wolverhampton looks like in real life. If it does, I'm never going there. This area down here too just looks barren and really badly designed. But this part down here is my favourite part by a long shot. Just this like hallway or alleyway which goes... well, no one knows what's in that door. People who have been to the stadium or work at the stadium, maybe they'll know, but I for sure don't. Municipal di Apura, one of my favourite stadiums in the game. And I'll show you exactly why. The surrounding area of this stadium is outstanding. The mountains and the trees. And EA even put like a house in the middle of the trees. And they couldn't have done that. I mean, they probably should. They did do it, obviously. But they could have not done it. And no one would have ever known. But they have done it. And now we know. There's another white building over there. There's that white and blue building, which I used for the thumbnail for another video. We've got these houses over here, which, okay, they're floating, but let's just look past that. We've got, I imagine, their training ground right next to it, but my favourite part of this stadium by far is this corner right here. The meshed out circles, the meshed out walls, the weirdly, like, made walls. Like, why are there circles? Why is there a gap here? But I absolutely love it. The red and the white perfectly matches each other. There's not really red... okay, there's red in this stadium, but there's not white. And even, there's not even that much red really, it's just the banners, but for some reason, it works perfectly. But once again, all of these houses over here are floating from the ground at least 50 yards. And those trees are also floating, but I'm sure they're not floating in real life. Mas Monumental, the home of River Plate in Argentina, is a gigantic stadium as it holds 85,018 people. This might be the first stadium we have explored that just doesn't have a roof. Like, there is no roof. In terms of roof, there is no roof. But other than that, there honestly isn't much else to see. Just stands upon stands upon stands. I mean, look at this stand down here. Look at how many people are just behind the goal. This would not be allowed in England. 100%. The dugout and the tunnel. Well, the tunnel's not really a tunnel. It's more like a couple of tunnels and some stairs. But the dugout looks okay. Could be red and white instead of black. But either way, it looks very much okay. Nuevo Mirandia, the home of Cadiz in Spain. Firstly, we have to check out this roof design. The roof design with the black like circles with the lights in them. This is easily the first time we have ever seen this design. And in my opinion, it looks wonderful. Other than that, the stadium is very, very weird. We've got this area right here, which does look cool, but we have the exact same thing on the other side. It's just completely mirrored. And it's not just mirrored on one side. On one of the corners in the other half of the stadium, we have this building. And then over here, we have the exact same thing. And by the way, look at how dirty this floor and wall is. This area down here, though, with all the booths and the balconies, does look very good. But it doesn't quite redeem the stadium from the dirty floor. And wall over there. That is insane. Old Trafford, possibly one of the most iconic football stadiums in the world. And it's also the biggest stadium in the Premier League, holding exactly 74,310 people. And due to it being such a large stadium, there's not that much to explore. But the roof, the roof is beautiful though. Apart from the leaky roof, that is not so beautiful. This area down here, though, which I think in real life is used as a disabled area, but it's not in this game. Is it used as a disabled area? Because there are steps here, and wheelchairs can't go up or down steps. I always thought this was a disabled area, or a wheelchair using area. Maybe I was wrong. But the dugout just looks like a Premier League dugout, and honestly, I find Premier League dugouts really boring. They're all just so standard. There's nothing exciting about them. It's pretty boring in my opinion. Olympia Stadion, the Olympic Stadium in Germany and the home of Hertha Berlin. And in my opinion, the greatest stadium in Germany. Holding an insane 74,475 people, it's one of the biggest stadiums in Europe. The roof is absolutely beautiful, going around pretty much the whole stadium. And normally I hate it when stadiums have gaps in them, but this one time, it is absolutely beautiful. There's not much more iconic in German football than just like this screenshot right here. I love it. Especially in like DFB Pokal final. Oh, it's lovely. But I'm not gonna lie, the dugout is pretty ass. I'm just gonna be completely honest. It's another multi-purpose stadium where the dugout isn't a dugout. It's just there for no reason. It looks okay. The floor's dirty. The stairs are cool. But look, I care about this part more than the dugout. Ooh, it looks beautiful. The Orange Velodrome, the home of Marseille, and it's another monstrous stadium, holding 67,394 fans. But the roof, I'm gonna swear guys, it's fucking beautiful. The curvature and the infrastructure of the roof is just, ooh, look at it. The stands too are absolutely beautiful, especially this one where it curves, where the seats curve at the top. I absolutely love it when a stadium does that. The dugout's nice too. It's nothing crazy. It just looks like a normal dugout for a French side, I believe, but I do quite like it. Much, much better than any English dugout. Premier League dugouts are so boring. They're so compact and dead to me. And something else that's cool is the nets. It has two different colours, white and blue. I'm a very big fan when a stadium has their own custom net colours. Parc des Princes, one of the coolest looking stadiums in the world. The roof is beautiful with the blue and the writing and of course the PSG badges. The stands look great, but I do wish the stairs were blue. This open area down here does look pretty cool with obviously Paris Saint-Germain and the badge. The dugout also it's okay. It even looks like a normal Premier League dugout, and well, I just said I hate them, so I'm just going to say I don't like it. But my favourite part is those red stairs by far. Philips Stadium, the home of PSV in the Netherlands. And it's the last stadium we're exploring today. But the roof does look very, very cool, with each corner kind of having this elevated area, which I very much love. But the cards of this stadium make it look so, so much better. I mean, look at it all. By the way, the scoreboard is in a very, very weird spot. But the part right next to the scoreboard looks very, very cool, with all of the balconies, and there's some even benches down there. I can't believe it, EA. You've put benches in the game. The dugout, once again, kind of looks like a Premier League dugout, but it looks a little bit better. I don't know why. I think the stairs, both of the dugout and the stadium, should be red and clean. Look how dirty they are. But this stadium is just completely fine, to be honest, apart from the roof. That is lovely. The first stadium we're exploring today is Portman Road, the home of Ipswich. First of all, I absolutely love this little design here with the Ipswich badge and the black roof, and also the actual roof is black. The roof is such a simple design, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It looks absolutely lovely. This corner over here too is pretty damn cool. This is probably one of the best looking commentary boxes we've seen in this game, and it's at Ipswich Town. And I always love seeing these types of areas too. I imagine it's for wheelchair users, but there are stairs all around the stadium. Maybe they'd come through that door, but I mean, there's none here in this game, so they clearly didn't turn up. The dugout looks just like a normal English dugout, and I will say, I hate English dugouts. They're just so boring to me. They all look the same. It's like, what's the point? A bit of variation. A bit of variation's nice. And over here we have a room with furniture in it. That is so, so rare for EA. That is genuinely like the third time I have seen it in over 140 stadiums. We do see a slight part of the surrounding area, but it's really nothing special. Just some buildings and some trees in the distance. The Pre-Zero Arena, the home of Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim being one of my favourite teams in Germany, I already love this stadium. The roof design, kind of basic, but it still looks great. But I think we saw a roof design like this with Stadion Nader when I explored all of the EA-generated stadiums, which they were all awful, as expected. But if you do want to go watch that video, I'll leave a link in the top right now. But back to the actual stadium, the cards look absolutely lovely. The blue and white, obviously, Hoffenheim, are funny enough, blue and white. But I won't lie, without them, the stadium looks about 20 times more boring. But not every stadium has to look crazy good. I'd like this area with all of these booths. Yes, there's about 3 people per booth, but hey, the stadium still has booths. There's loads of booths, actually. Loads of them. There might be more booths than seats. But the dugout, I won't lie, there's not much. It's not very good. I'll be completely honest. I don't know why it's gold and black instead of white and blue, because Hoffenheim are not gold and black. But the tunnel does look very nice. It's even retractable, which for EA, that's some pretty good detail. They don't do that often. They don't do much often, actually. So for once, EA, well done. Providence Park, the home of Portland Timbers. And this has to be one of my favourite stadiums to explore in FC26, and this building is the reason why. Firstly, it's just got a stand in the middle of it for no apparent reason at all. I don't know why, but it looks pretty cool, I won't lie. But it's not just that. All of these rooms have the same exact interiors. The ones down here, the ones up there, the ones even up there have the same exact interior. It's so weird just to look in a room and see, I mean, I imagine that's a door? That's the thinnest door of all time, but how many doors are in this one big room, by the way? There's at least 17. Please, EA, learn how to make another interior, please, man. When you even think about it, it kind of looks creepy. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like the back rooms. We've also got this corner here, which is one of the weirdest placements of a tree I have ever seen. Maybe it's there in real life, but I can guarantee you it's not in the building in real life. But getting to the actual stadium, it looks great. 4 tiered stands in America. That's crazy. And as we float over here, you see this roof seems to be made out of wood, or at least it has the design of wood, and well, I can imagine it's timber. And down here we even have a timber tree, or what remains of one anyway. There are loads of booths over here as well. Funny enough, with the same interior as the other building from before. I don't know yet. But I absolutely love this stand. It might just be me, but I'm a sucker for small stands. Like, the Bernabeu's nice with like quadruple or 5-tier stands. But there's nothing quite as homely and just humble as a stand like this. Like, there's a bin right there. You don't see bins in normal stands. I love small stands. That's why I love small stadiums. Anyway, on to the next. Talking of small stadiums, we have completely the opposite. Rams Park, the home of Galatasaray. This is by far the biggest stadium we have explored today so far. And look at these cards. Red and yellow. Absolutely beautiful. But the roof design is lovely. This is probably the first ever time we've seen this design with like wires going across the whole just stadium. It looks very nice. The stands are absolutely massive too, with quadruple tiered stands, and the glass at the top just makes it look even better. But I think we can admit that Galatasaray have one of the biggest and hardest away sections in football. Like, this is just completely cutthroat. And I absolutely love the dugout too, with the colours matching Galatasaray, the badge. It looks very, very nice. RCDE Stadium, the home of Espanyol. The roof design is okay, but there's nothing too interesting about it, to be honest. We have triple tiered stands around the entire stadium, which look lovely. But this stadium is extremely boring. There are some booths up there, but maybe if I zoom in quickly. We can see them a little bit better now, but it's literally the exact same PNGs of the same 4, might even be 3 men. I can't even tell from up here, but literally the same exact PNGs in every single... I mean, that person on the left can hardly see above the wall. But once again, the tunnel does look pretty nice. The dugout is okay. They could really put a couple of Espanyol badges up, but, you know, it's Espanyol, not Real Madrid. But I'm not too sure where these stairs go. Like, where am I going? Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, the home of Sevilla. And it is one of my favourite stadiums in Spain. The roof looks nice, but I kind of wish it went around the whole stadium. The underside of the roof is red, so if it would have went around the whole of the stadium, oh, wow. There are kind of triple-tiered stands. I would still call that triple-tiered stands. But the main point of this stadium is the dugout. It looks nice, modern, slick. Not gonna lie, it looks like a bus stop if we look at it from the side, so let's not look at it from the side. But also there's no tunnel. The teams come out of their own separate stairs. And I really don't like that. It never happens in England, but honestly, it would be pretty cool to see it happen, but I don't think it will ever happen in England at all. Real E Arena, or the Anota Stadium. It's the home of Real Sociedad in Spain, and call me crazy, but this stadium looks incredibly like the Amex in England. And, well, that's one of my favourite stadiums in England, so I already love this one as well. The stands look so incredibly similar. Like, I would even go to say that if I just took a screenshot of this and showed you it, you'd probably think it could be the Amex. The roof design is absolutely lovely. The slightly curved roof is just, I love it. The dugout looks very cool with the glass cover, but imagine how hot that would be. Just like the Spanish sun on a hot Spanish day, sitting on the bench. Nah, not for me. The tunnel isn't really a tunnel, it's just more like an open area. But it looks fine. But yeah, the real talking point is that roof. How can you not love a curved roof? If you love football stadiums and don't love a curved roof, do you actually love football stadiums? No. The Red Bull Arena, the home of RB Leipzig. A pretty damn good looking stadium. The roof is curved, so you know what that means. I am already in love with it. And once again, the stand also looks lovely. It's curved again. Everything that's curved, I love. Sadly, we can't see too much of the surrounding area, just some grass and some trees, but with a stadium this big, you don't expect to see anything in the surrounding area. The dugout, it looks like a bus stop. I really do not understand how Red Bull, having this much money to make a stadium, could make this roof, but this dugout. Like, sorry? Bus stop, hello? The tunnel looks completely fine, but oh my, it's dark down there. Like, can they not afford lights? They can't afford a good dugout. They can't afford lights either. The Red Bull Arena, the other one this time, the home of RB Salzburg. The roof this time is not curved, so I already like it less. This area is very cool though. I don't know what that means. Versinkuduf? I'm not even going to say that word actually. But this, this area down here looks very, very nice. Very nice. Actually, you know what? I take it back. This stadium's not boring. This is actually a very nice wall of just windows and red. We can see a couple of cars outside. Nice to know that people in Austria still drive cars. But the best part about the stadium, for once, isn't the roof. It's the tunnel. It looks like a lighthouse. And I absolutely love it. But the dugout, it might as well not be there. They might as well be standing or just sitting on the floor. But the tunnel, the lighthouse tunnel, the candy cane tunnel, it looks so good. I love it. The Rhine Energy Stadion, the home of Cologne in Germany. The roof looks great, but I absolutely love the pillars in every single corner of the stadium. I don't know why, but when a stadium has just stuff surrounding it, like poking out the top, like a pillar, like Wembley with the arch, there's other ones, but I can't remember. Like Benfica Stadium, I believe they have a cool kind of support as well. But I love it. I love when stadiums have good supports. I love it. The cars in this stadium as well look absolutely beautiful. They match with everything so perfectly. But the second I get rid of them, it looks a bit dead. I won't lie. I can see why people would call this stadium boring. The dugout kind of looks like an advanced bus stop. And the tunnel, it's a nice tunnel, but I'm really not a fan of when there's stairs. I just like a straight line. But when we're even thinking about that, and we've got these pillars here, then yeah, I'm doing the wrong thing. I could just stare at these pillars for an hour straight and love every second of it. Riverside Stadium, the home of Middlesbrough, and look at this roof. I said last time I love when there are pillars, but something else I love is when not all of the same roof is on the same level. Like when it goes down, kind of like the GTEC Community Stadium in the English League, funny enough. But as we get closer to this thing, it's so hot. But I won't lie, other than that, this stadium is what you would call boring as hell. There are no banners or flags either, so I don't understand it. Like, if I just showed you this area right here, okay, maybe not the Riverside Stadium. If I showed you this part and got rid of the Riverside Stadium, if I just showed you this, you would have no idea who played here. Where are the Middlesbrough banners, the flags, the scarves? Come on, Riverside Stadium / Middlesbrough Stadium. Get your grip together, man. I do see an area down there, which is pretty cool. I love pillars. That's really weird to think about it now, but pillars are nice. The Metropolitano, the home of Atletico Madrid, and my favourite stadium in football. I mean, just look at the roof. The difference between this area up here, where it's just flat, but then the underneath is pointy. I don't know what it'd be called. I'm really dumb when it comes to this. But pointy, slanted. But I just like to say it looks pretty cool. We've got quadruple tiered stands as well. Like, I want to go to this football stadium in real life. If there's one stadium I want to go to, I've been to maybe 3 stadiums. I've been to Stamford Bridge because I support Chelsea. I've been to Wembley and I've been to Turf Moor. I've been to Oxford Stadium as well. But I need to go to this stadium. Someone at Atletico, fly me out. I know I'm completely unknown, but I will not be completely unknown. I will be massive. I guess the only downside of this stadium is just that there's not enough red. Like, if the stairs were red, this stadium would be too good looking, actually. It would just be too good. So maybe it's actually a good thing that the stairs aren't red. The Schuko Arena, the home of 2nd Division German side Arminia Bielefeld. And this roof design is quite nice with the glass, but I'll tell you what, this roof design is even better. It's just completely flat, and I love it, I love it, I love it. It's blue to match the club colours. By the way, this scoreboard, it might be the first time we've seen a scoreboard with an actual design on it. So, I mean, it'd be a foul. Genuinely, congratulations on being different, because there are so many normal teams which are boring, but my god, look at these stairs. And, whoa! I mean, it'd be a foul. You might have a cool scoreboard, but you don't clean your stadium. My. But these rooms over here look very, very cool. It does look slightly creepy, just how they're all the same size, all the same distance away from each other, but hey, it looks lovely in my opinion. But someone please tell me, if you're German, tell me what this means. It probably means like, we are Fallen. I don't know what that means, but it means something, and I don't know what it means, so please tell me. Selhurst Park, the home of Crystal Palace, and probably my least favourite stadium in England, or at least the Premier League. I mean, just look how boring it is. There's no colour. For being a club which is red and blue, there is a real big lack of red and blue. I wouldn't even lie, the corners of the stadium are more interesting than the actual stadium. In this corner, we've got some stairs in a building which looks like a prison. I'd much rather be in there than this stadium, though. In this corner, we have actually a pretty cool design. We've got more stairs, obviously, but I really like this design of the badge and the cover. It's literally the only good part of the stadium, though. And in this corner, we have even more stairs. There are more stairs here than there is. I don't know where I'm going with this joke, but I have to... Oh my... I just noticed those are floating! Those PNGs are floating. I did not even see that. But EA, I have busted your case. Now, make a good game, please. The Signal Iduna Park, the home of Dortmund, and one of the greatest stadiums we will just ever see in our lives. It's one of the most iconic stadiums, not just in Germany, but the world. The roof, yellow and black. The cards, yellow and black. The dugout is the most attractive dugout I think I've ever seen in this game. Black and yellow. Dortmund badge, roof that is continuous the whole way along. It looks beautiful. The yellow wall, or at least I hope this is the yellow wall. I can't really remember if that's the yellow wall or the other side. No, okay, that's not the yellow wall because that's the away stand. This is the yellow wall, and look at it. Obviously, if we get rid of the cards, it still looks very good, though. I will not lie. It's one of the only stadiums in this game that look okay without cards. It's not even really a tunnel. It's not a tunnel. It's just a door. Sport Park Ronhof Thomas Sommer, the home of Fürth in Germany. Long ass name, by the way. My God. But another small German stadium is exactly what we needed. The roof is completely flat but beautiful. The green and white, the cards. Oh, I mean, none of the stands actually connect, which would usually be a very big turn-off for me in stadiums, but this is a second division German side. What do you want them to do? This roof design as well, with the kind of bubbled roof. Yeah. Absolutely wonderful. And the surrounding area, for once, genuinely looks very, very good. Like, I can imagine there is a place in Germany that looks like this. Obviously, you know, the surrounding of this stadium probably looks like this, but I mean in another part of Germany. This stand right here is probably the most boring stand of the stadium just because there's no green stairs, there's no green walls, there's no green roof. And it looks pretty dirty, look at this. Well, it's so dirty, but if this was green as well, this would have been my favourite stadium today. There's booths up here as well, loads and loads of booths, and obviously all interiors. And some of the booths aren't even filled with people, so that's interesting. But every other stand in this stadium is damn perfect. The green stairs. Oh, more stadiums need to just put some colours down. I love this area too. I don't really know why this area is here. Maybe they just wanted to put some more seats in. But this just looks funny. The Sports Illustrated Stadium, the home of Gotham FC, which is a women's team in the USA, for people that don't know. But the roof does look very, very... Wait, this is... Wait! This is the Red Bull Arena, but for Salzburg. Is it not? Wait, this is the same state. They share. Do they share a stadium? Okay, well, I don't know why it's called something different for men and women, but I guess that means we don't have to explore the stadium again. Anyway, next stadium. St. Jakob Park, the home of Basel. First of all, this roof is absolutely beautiful. The red and blue look lovely. And I believe they are solar panels. And that's very cool. That's probably the first actual stadium in the game to have solar panels. It could just be a design, but they very much look like solar panels. We've got this insane looking building over here. I have absolutely no idea what it is, but it's got so many windows. It could be a hotel, but that's a lot of windows. But with the fans holding the cards, this stadium looks absolutely lovely. And even without it, it doesn't look awful. It's a little bit more boring, but hey, of course it's going to be more boring because there aren't cards in the stadium. But this part up here with all of these booths is very, very cool. Obviously these ones over here don't have anybody in them, but other than that, all of these are filled with the same exact people as always and the same exact interiors as always, because every single booth in the history of football looks the same. And look here, we have red and blue stairs, and even yellow. And look around the entire stadium. There's no red, yellow or blue stairs. Why is it only in this part that there's red, yellow and blue stairs? This would look so good. Cover the entire stadium. Like, oh, these stairs would look beautiful and this stadium would be a 10 out of 10. St. James Park, the home of Newcastle. Firstly, the roof is so chunky, but also it looks so good. This other roof too with the glass, it looks okay, but I don't know, there's just something about it that I don't really like. It looks nice, but not quite as good as this chunky boy over here. Look at that, look at all these booths and look at all the same exact people as always. Like, come on EA, more people exist than these like 6 people. The booths don't look awful, they look like they could use a clean, but they don't look awful. This part over here too could use with some lights, because it is pitch black over here. I can hardly see, but it does look pretty cool, even if it is pitch black. And the dugout, for once it doesn't look like a normal Premier League dugout, and I love it. I hate the boring box squares. Like, I just hate the normal Premier League dugouts. This is such a refreshing thing to see. The glass cover is lovely. The seats look comfy. And it's just so damn beautiful. St Mary's Stadium, the home of Southampton and one of the most iconic stadiums in English history. But that doesn't mean it looks good. The roof design, I like the... I don't know what they'd be called. They're either supports, or I'd just call them spikes because I have no idea what they're called. But they look cool. But the roof, it's just flat. It's kind of boring. The windows, the white and red windows at the back do look cool. They do illuminate the stadium quite a bit. But that is the most exciting part of the stadium done because the rest of it is boring as fuck. The red material surrounding the grass, I don't know if that's like artificial grass. I imagine it probably is, but that looks quite nice and it obviously matches the colour of the team, which nothing else in this stadium does apart from a couple of the walls. That part up there looks pretty cool with the clock and the badges either side. The dugout is just the normal English dugout and I don't like them, but the tunnel, it's nice, and I do like how EA have actually put like the crinkles of where it would be retracted into the stadium, or the dugout, tunnel I mean. So, very nice EA, but it's still a pretty boring tunnel, Southampton. Stade Bollaert de Lille, the home of Lyon in France. And it's for sure one of the most colourful stadiums we have seen today. As I bring up the badges, I mean the cards, I'm having a tough day today, guys. And it is definitely one of the most colourful stadiums we have seen yet, especially when the cards are being held. And by the way, look at the away. That is the smallest away section I have seen so far. Like, this stadium is moderately big. I would say this is a nice side stadium, and the scoreboard looks pretty nice, but that away end is absolutely tiny. This building here is pretty cool. I've got absolutely no idea what it could be though. Could be a commentary box, but I don't see anybody in there. The roof design is very much okay. We can see a couple of the surrounding areas, but as you see, it's just buildings and trees. Nothing, nothing quite interesting, I won't lie. And that's a very nice design down there with the letters of the, funny enough, the team. That could probably be the first time we've ever seen just, like, letters on pillars. I know that sounds really stupid, but it probably actually is. The dugout. The tunnel, it's not really a tunnel, it's just some stairs and a door. But the dugout, it looks completely fine. I kind of wish the stairs were red and yellow, and there's a lot of badges, by the way. How many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 badges in about, like, 30 meters. Calm yourselves down. But over here, there is a pretty cool kind of gazebo-looking building. Once again, I've got absolutely no idea what happens in there. It could be some of the craziest stuff we've ever seen. It could just be a building. Who knows? Not me. Probably someone in France, though. But this part is just funny. Look behind it. Look how messy the floor is. They have just covered up mess with their badge. Stade de la... I'm not even going to say that because I will be butchered in the comments and be sent to French jail, and I don't want to go there. But it's the home of Nantes in France, and oh my god. Oh, this roof, look at how it curves. Ooh, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Maybe the roof would look a little bit better if it was yellow instead of green, because honestly, green is not a nice colour. There is no shade of green that makes me go, oh, I want to wear it or see it any day of my life, apart from grass. Talking about the lack of yellow and green, the stairs. Imagine if the stairs were yellow and green. It might then look like the stadium was infected though, so maybe we should have yellow and green stairs. But something we do have that's yellow and green is the nets. Once again, French people and French clubs love to have yellow and, well, coloured nets. This one isn't yellow and green, this is actually just yellow. But I don't even think it's allowed to have coloured nets in the Premier League, but just have coloured nets in the Premier League. Why are we so boring as a country? Once again, the away section is absolutely tiny. I would count how many people are here, but I'm not doing that because I don't care that much, but it's tiny either way. The dugout looks like an English dugout, and I don't like English dugouts, but at least the colours are just exciting. The yellow and green makes it look a little bit better, but I still don't like the design, because I just don't like boxes or squares. They annoy me. Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the home of Napoli, and one of the best stadiums we will ever see in our lifetime. I mean, just look at that roof, the little curvy parts and then the sticky up parts. It sounds like I'm a child trying to explain it, but I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, they just look beautiful. I imagine that's either glass or some type of plastic. So it's probably not glass, because that's a lot of glass. But as it's such a huge stadium, there's really not much else to explore. And I know that doesn't sound truthful. There's a mountain in the back. That's about it. But in the bigger stadiums, it's just like a big stadium. There's just very nice stands. There's not a funny corner to explore. There's nothing funny to explore. There's a cool moat, or it's probably not a moat because there's probably not water at the bottom of it, but it actually quite looks like the void. But yeah, in these bigger stadiums, you just see a very nice stadium. There's nothing I can be like, oh, that's bad from EA. It's just a nice stadium. The dugouts too are very nice. They're lowered into the ground. Probably the first time we've seen steps out the side. It could not be. I really don't know. I haven't took that much notice in dugout stairs because it's a stair. But something I do care about is the tunnels. Firstly, I love the blue kind of flooring. But the thing that bothers me the most is this one matches, but this one is not centered. Napoli, redesign your stadium right now. Stadion an der Alten Forsterei, the home of Union Berlin in Germany. First of all, the roof looks so cool. The red and white. There's even like red and white supports. That's what they're called. They're called supports. I love the design of the badge and the bears. Are they bears? Are they lions? Are they some type of ancient creature that I've never seen before? And even the surrounding area is quite nice, and that's because it's just covered in trees, so I can't really see much of it. This corner down here is great with this red and white building. There's a bus in the background, the benches, the green food stalls, the red bins. When's the last time you saw red bins? I don't think I've ever seen a red bin in my life. The red and white stairs. Oh, Union Berlin. You understand how to design a football stadium. This over here looks lovely. I imagine these are the turnstiles. Well, there's no turnstiles, but it's where the fans come in anyway. I don't believe there are any booths. Like, maybe that's a booth. Maybe this is a booth. I really don't know. It doesn't look so much like a booth. It more just looks like solitary confinement. But hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. This corner over here is so cool as well. We've got a car park. We've got another blue, red and white building. This building here looks so nice. I don't know why it's even here, but it's not a commentary box because there's no commentary people inside of it, but it looks so cool. Along with the dugout as too, the actual dugout doesn't look very nice, but it's the first time we've seen a dugout actually be made out of bricks, so that by itself is a massive plus. The chairs, or the seats, make it look like a bus stop, but it looks like a very comfy bus stop. But this is by far my favourite part of this stadium. This like little podium here, obviously the teams come out either side of it, but I guess this is here if they win a trophy, which I don't think they're going to for a while, but it's here, ready. Stadion Wankdorf, the home of young boys. Firstly, that's a very funny name for a stadium, but secondly, this stadium looks great. The roof is simple but effective. The scoreboard looks like a normal scoreboard, to be honest. The amount of yellow and black in this stadium is wonderful. Obviously, most of the fans are wearing yellow and black, but this part, this part up here might just be my favourite thing we've explored today. Look at this. Look at this. Young boys forever. Actually, I'm not saying that. That's going to be taken out of context. But the walls of this stadium are beautiful. I do wish the stairs were yellow and black, but maybe that would be too much, but it's never too much. There's never too much colour in a stadium. The dugout is definitely interesting though. First of all, we've just got this weird brick design, which could be the first time we've seen a brick design around a stadium, because it's really not safe to have this on the edge of a field where players are running at pretty damn high speeds. But anyway, enough of Karen. This is a very nice dugout. And we've even got 2 manhole covers here, which is a very weird place to put them, but they're there. Stadion am Bullenfalter, the home of Darmstadt in Germany. Firstly, let's explore the surrounding area, because for once, it actually looks quite nice. I don't really know what that blue area is over there, but here we have tennis courts. And this is by far the first time EA have ever put tennis courts into the game, so that is a very nice touch. This corner is very weird though. I don't even know what to say about it, because I don't know what it is. This clock back here looks great, but I really don't know why the flags are phasing through the roof of the stadium. That wouldn't happen in real life, EA, come on buddy. But getting to the actual stadium, the roof design is a bit boring, I won't lie. It's literally just a flat piece of steel. But I really do love how small the stands are. The blue stairs as well. Finally, a team making some blue stairs. Darmstadt, you're my favourite. And this wall of booths here with the blue and the white design with the Darmstadt, it looks very nice. Even if the interiors of the booths are boring, the outside looks wonderful. The dugout, honestly, it really does look like a bus stop, but anything that doesn't look like a Premier League dugout is infinitely better than a Premier League dugout, because Premier League dugouts are so boring. This at least has some character to it. The design of the floor looks nice, and the wall, I've got no idea what it says, but it looks nice. The Stadium of Light, the home of Sunderland, and one of the cleanest looking stadiums in the Premier League. I mean, the roof design is basic but beautiful. I love the little glass areas. It's kind of mixed in with the non-glass areas. And there's nothing better than a stadium having glass in the roof, because it looks lovely. But just like St James Park, and Sunderland are not going to be happy with me comparing them to Newcastle because they hate each other. But once again, this stadium just has no colour to it. Like I say there's a little bit of colour. That's because Arsenal have actually bought banners, but Sunderland just haven't at all. Like there's no red. There's no red. It's actually annoyed me. That side was just straight annoyance. Like just Premier League stadiums are so boring when it comes to colour. Like these stairs for one are dirty, but these stairs could be red. These stairs could be like ice white. Come on. I hate Premier League like stadiums. I love Premier League stadiums, but also I hate how they're just lacking in so many other places that countries outside of England, or other countries other than England, are just so much better at them at doing. The dugout though, the dugout does not look like a Premier League dugout, so once again, it's infinitely better than anything else in the Premier League. We've actually not seen a dugout like this. Kind of how the chairs are separated ever so slightly. They're levitated. I mean, of course, chairs are always levitated. But you know what I'm talking about. Once again, it must be like a Newcastle and Sunderland thing, but the cover is glass and it's absolutely beautiful. The tunnel, it's a tunnel. It is literally just a basic tunnel. There is nothing I can say about it. But this little alleyway, where does this go? Maybe there are toilets down there. Maybe if you've been to this stadium, you know. So if you do know, please let me know in the comments, because I have absolutely no idea. Stamford Bridge, the home of the team I support, Chelsea. Laugh at me in the comments if you want. I really wouldn't blame you. But getting to the actual stadium, you have to admit, it is absolutely beautiful. For once, a Premier League side has actually indulged in the colour of their fucking team, finally. The blue walls, the blue fences, I can't remember what they're called. Everything is blue. The stairs, the walls, the roof. Everything is blue. Even if you hate Chelsea, you have to admit they know how to make a stadium. The dugout is, of course, a normal English dugout. I hate them, but at least the colour blue makes it look a little bit better. Like, the colour blue it's just so nice. Even if you support, like, Arsenal, Spurs, like, Man United, even if you support, a club that hates the colour blue, because, like, the rivals are blue, like, Liverpool hate blue, you have to admit blue is a nice colour. Even if you don't like the team, you have to like the colour. And this looks absolutely wonderful. And I would say, when I went to watch Chelsea games, I would say I was about right there. So one of those people would be me. I would be like right there. I am that black man. He is lucky to be there, because my god, they'd probably be racist to him. Stoke City Stadium. I'll let you guess what team plays here. I don't think I need to tell you. But the roof and the kind of back wall design looks great. It kind of ever so slightly reminds me of Alawal Park, which was like in the first episode, obviously being the home of Al Nassr, but this is a little less attractive version of it, but hey, it still looks okay. But the surrounding area is really where I get interested. First of all, the scoreboard looks nice. Like, I like that scoreboard, but what in the world is that in the back? This corner over here too just looks completely barren. There's some buildings over there. Wow, this is really, really barren, actually. But of course, we've got interiors. They're all the same, because EA only know one interior. But this building is very cool, because it's where the team actually walks out. And obviously, as the tunnel is over there, it means there's no tunnel in between the dugouts. And even though it looks like a bus stop, I like the colouring. It's kind of turquoise. That is the first time we've seen a turquoise bus stop. Stronghurst Stadium, the smallest stadium in the game, holding just 5,000 fans. But it's personally one of my favourite stadiums in the entire game. Firstly, the surrounding area looks absolutely amazing. This is probably the best surrounding area we have ever seen in this game. We've got a bridge, we've got a river, we have paths, we have trees that, for once, they're not actually just in the concrete. They have the kind of surrounding area that they would normally have when they're trying to be protected. And EA, finally, you've put a bit of fucking detail into the stadium. The car park looks great. The training ground looks... I mean, there's no goals, but it still looks great. Over in this direction is the men's Wolfsburg team stadium. Oh, man. This whole area. Truly. There's even another car park over there, which even looks like a... Wow, I forgot what those car parks are called. Doubles... multi-story car parks, there we go. But look, once again, the river, the trees in the middle of it. EA, you've actually put effort into a stadium for the first time in your fucking lives. And it looks great. This is what happens, EA, when you actually have passion, when you try. This looks incredible. Obviously, the graphics and the actual details don't look like perfect, but this is a great start, EA. Please, for the love of all that's above, all that's holy, just start making your surrounding areas look like this, or at least just put a little bit more effort into your games, because then they might be playable past December. But getting into the actual stadium, it's not just the surrounding area that's lovely, it's the actual stadium. We have all of these areas up here which look great. The dugout looks great. The tunnel, it's okay. The stands are tiny but homely. Like, look how many fans are in this stand. It's so small, but that's what makes it so good. But a funny detail about this stadium is that these windows aren't actually connected to the rest of the building. You can see straight through them. Swansea.com Stadium. Funny enough, the home of Swansea. First of all, this roof design is so much better than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting some awful design, but half of it being, well, steel. I don't know what that would be, but I know this is glass, or at least some type of plastic. But it actually looks really, really nice. But the main problem I have with this stadium is that there's just no colour at all. Like, I know Swansea are a black and white club, but a little bit of colour doesn't hurt anybody. There's just no colour in this stadium at all. I would fall asleep here. The dugout looks completely fine. It's not a normal English dugout, so I'm happy about it. It's a bit weird how the seats are separated. I would expect the whole team to kind of be able to sit with no wall in between them. But hey, it's what they wanted to do, so they can do that. The tunnel looks okay. I do like that we can actually see into the stadium. Like, we can see the badge, we can see what I can imagine to be some of the doors to the changing rooms, which is very, very nice. But yeah, I won't lie, this is a very sleepy stadium. I need to move on or else I will genuinely fall asleep. The City Ground, the home of Nottingham Forest. The whole stadium looks very nice as a whole. Obviously the roof with this little like bit down here looks lovely. The red and white looks lovely. But something I believe is true is there's not a single booth. There is not a single booth in this entire stadium. Like, unless I'm missing something, unless that's not a booth back there, no. Like, there's just not a booth in this stadium. It's insane. But the surrounding area of this stadium is actually so much more interesting than the actual stadium. Like, look at this. Look how barren and open it is. The red buildings, the big buildings. That big building back there, which is a cricket ground, by the way. I thought it was a train station, but it's a cricket ground. We've got these office buildings here. We've got this river, which looks very nice. Very, very nice. The bridge even looks very, very nice. It doesn't quite look stable enough at the peak, but it's a bridge. This design here with the supporting areas for the actual stand. Oh, it looks great. We saw this again. I think it was maybe Portsmouth Stadium which had this type of stuff. But yeah, it looks great. And once again, this surrounding area. The water. Go back to the Stronghurst Stadium and look at the water on that. It does not look anywhere near as good as this. So EA, once again, you've made a surrounding area which, look, this surrounding area is still horrible looking. Like, don't get me wrong, the buildings look absolutely awful, but they've at least tried. The Hawthorns, the home of West Brom. Actually, a really, really nice looking stadium. The roof looks great. Oh, the surrounding area, it looks awful. I'm not even sure I want to see out here. It looks so bad. Look at that. Oh, but no, the actual stadium is great. The blue and the white matches, funny enough, the blue and white of West Brom. And all of these booths up here, these are either booths. No, they are booths. I was going to say it's either a booth or one big corridor, but no, these are definitely booths. And they all look very, very nice. Obviously, same people as always. But for once, the interiors are not the same interiors. What is going on, EA? Hello, you've changed. But no, the infrastructure of the roof does look very nice. I really, really love how you can see every pillar, every strut, every just piece of metal. I love metal. The dugout kind of looks like a normal English dugout, but I don't know. There's just something about it which makes me kind of like it. I think it's the turquoise again. I really love turquoise. The tunnel is just another tunnel. It's simply just a tunnel. There is nothing for me to be like, oh my god, that's the best tunnel I've ever seen. It's literally just a tunnel. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, one of the best looking stadiums in the world. I mean, just look at this. This is beautiful. It's a shame they're going down to the Championship though. The roof is insane. Just look at it. Oh. Oh, oh, this is hot. This is very hot. It's very, very hot. And 1882. That's how many millions you're going to lose when you go down the Championship, mate. But yeah, the stadium is just completely beautiful. The dugout is massive. It doesn't look like a normal English dugout. Oh, it's wonderful. The tunnel is a tunnel. This whole stadium just looks incredibly beautiful. There's not anything else to explore. There's loads of booths up there. The cards look wonderful. Even without the cards, this stadium still looks great. Even though there are some empty seats up there. Just like there will be in the Championship next season. Turf Moor, the most boring football stadium in the Premier League. And it's not in the Premier League anymore, actually, because the day before I recorded this, they lost to Man City. And good riddance too, because Burnley are one of the most boring clubs in football. Get them out. But the roof design is just boring. Sleepy time roof. Look at this. The colours are boring. The surrounding area isn't awful. I mean, this right here is the most interesting part of the stadium, and it's just a wall and a blue building. The dugout does look quite nice though, with the 3 Burnley badges. The tunnel wasn't here. It doesn't look like a normal Premier League. Well, it's not in the Premier League anymore, so I should stop saying it looks like a Premier League dugout. But it doesn't look like a normal English dugout. But this area over here is by far the best looking part of the stadium, and you would see this in the 3rd division of Spain. That's how bad this stadium really is. Tupra Stadiumu, the home of Besiktas. And wow, just look at these cards. The matching colour between the red, black and white, and obviously the red making the flag of Turkey on each corner of the stadium. Okay, well maybe not those two, but it looks absolutely stunning. Obviously Besiktas are a black and white club, so they can't really add too much colour, so that already kind of dooms them into a pretty boring stadium. The roof design is nice. It kind of reminds me of a toilet seat. But I absolutely love how dark both the dugout and the tunnel are. This could be the best part of this stadium. And, well, I love the cards, but technically the cards aren't really part of the stadium. So tunnel, for the first time, I love you. Almeria Stadium. Funny enough, the home of Almeria. First of all, the roof and its wall design is absolutely beautiful. Sadly, the underside of the roof isn't red, though. If it was, I've just accidentally... But no, sadly, the underside of the roof isn't red. If it was, it would look lovely. And I don't know if their stadium's under construction, because this doesn't seem right at all. Like, if this wasn't here, and that is the actual stand that they use, but it can't be, because it would be in the game. So surely it must be under construction. If so... when this stadium is done, it's going to look so hot. The dugout looks okay, the tunnel also looks okay, but it looks a little weird with how it's smaller than the actual area it's in. Like, it would be so much nicer if it covered the entire area. But hey, it doesn't, and I don't make the stadium, so who's going to change it? Not me. We can also see a couple of buildings surrounding the area, but with those things on the top, they just look like Lego bricks. Valtins Arena, the home of former German giants, Schalke. And wow, just look at this beauty of a stadium. This isn't in the top division of Germany. This is in the 2nd division. This is insane. Look, they've even got a box in the middle. The roof is absolutely massive. We've got triple tiered stands. We've got booths that surround the entire, yes, I mean the entire stadium. It looks lovely. This stadium is in the second division of Germany. And the floor and the stairs as well. I don't know if it's just coloured like that because EA are stupid, or that's actually kind of like how it's coloured in real life, a bit of red, but it could also be brick. It looks like nether bricks from Minecraft, obviously. But whatever it is, it looks absolutely beautiful. Just look at this screenshot right here. Ugh. And over here, they even have their own DJ booth. Like, what? And that's a very weirdly in-depth, like, bench. Why is that so detailed? We've got so many things in this game which aren't detailed, but the bench is the most detailed thing in the game. And it's seen in one stadium. Come on, EA. And you would actually think I don't like the dugout just because it kind of looks a bit weird. And yes, it does look weird, I will admit, but I absolutely love it. I don't really like the stairs. I never like stairs. I like flat areas where tunnels can look like a tunnel and not just like a doorway. But hey, this stadium is beautiful. I'm not going to make fun of a doorway. Vicarage Road, the home of Watford, and one of the most beautiful roofs you will ever see. The black and yellow look absolutely amazing. Yes, we've seen much better actual looking roofs, but it's very rare a roof is actually coloured, and I love black and yellow as much as ASAP Rocky. I love this roof. And they've even got black and yellow stairs. Finally, an English club that just understands that colour is what makes the world the world. This little stand up here is very cute, but let me just go down. What is that? We have all of this modern looking building, beautiful roof, curved, black roof, yellow roof, beautiful modern windows, lovely black and yellow stairs, modern pitch, and just this. Like, what? And the dugout doesn't look like a normal English dugout, which is something I absolutely love. There's not many English dugouts that have a cover, and especially a curved end. This might be my favourite English dugout. Watford, I love you. And I hope you get promoted. You're not going to, but I hope you get promoted just so I can maybe see your stadium and dugout and awful thing in the corner over here one more time in my life. Villa Park, the home of, well, Aston Villa. And I'm not going to lie, this stadium, to me at least, if you love Aston Villa and love Villa Park, I'm sorry, but I find your stadium boring. There is just no colour. I know Villa are not a very colourful team. They're claret, or I don't even know what colour that would be, but look, they're not a very colourful team, and yes, I understand, but it doesn't hurt to have a bit of colour. This area looks great. I love whatever this is. It's not a commentary box because there are no commentary people inside of it, but hey, it looks cool at least. But I do like the booths that go around the entire stadium. Half of these booths don't actually have anybody in them, so, you know, Villa are losing out a lot of money. Half of these booths are not even used, but, you know, it's not my problem. And these areas too look very nice. Let's just read all of this and see if it makes sense. Shaw Williams prepared to venture down the left. There's a good ball. Oh, it's just about something I probably wasn't even live when it happened. So I don't really care, to be honest. EA Sports FC on TikTok. Now go to mine. Unless EA want to sponsor me, then, you know, go to their TikTok as much as you want. The dugout looks nice, but you will see. Where's the tunnel? Where's the tunnel? I wonder where the tunnel is. It's over here. Oh, no it's not. Where's the tunnel? Wait, where's the tunnel? Okay, it's over here. I was stupid. I'm sorry, guys. But the tunnel, or at least I believe this is where the players come out, but that looks just like a normal maintenance door. Oh, never mind. The players come out of this one. Okay, well, this looks a lot more like a tunnel. Exploring a Villa Park, I absolutely love this stand. Triple tiered stand. The top stand has diagonal. It looks like a weird pyramid. You know what? I will say this one stand looks 10 out of 10. The rest of them are boring. and I absolutely love this area up here with all of these people, even though they are obviously the same exact people as always, but this stand right here is very nice. The other ones, I mean, they do look similar, but it's boring. Sorry guys, but it's boring. The Vitality Stadium, the home of Bournemouth, and the smallest stadium in the Premier League, but honestly, it's one of my favourites. The surrounding area looks incredibly confusing, like it's just so incredibly barren, and there's just a couple of houses randomly placed here on grass that doesn't look like grass. I can't imagine that this is what the actual surrounding area in Bournemouth looks like, but if it is, I never want to go there. But this part of the surrounding area actually looks pretty good. There are training pitches, or training grounds, and there's even like a little stand back there. That could be where the women play their football. But no, it's probably not actually. Why would women play in 6 goals? But my favourite part of this stadium by far is this, and it's not even part of the stadium. It's the car park where half of the cars are in the ground. But going back to the actual stadium, it's just very small and homely. And you know, love the big stadiums. They're cool. They look spectacular. Hold 60,000 people. Insane venues, money, money, money. But this one just feels a little bit like home. And the dugout doesn't look like a normal English dugout, probably because Bournemouth can't afford one. But hey, it looks better than English dugout, so if you can't afford it, keep it that way. But look at this. Look at the tunnel. Why is it so high depth? High definition, I mean. Like, look at it. It looks like licorice. I kind of want to eat it. Volkspark Stadion. I swear I've explored this stadium before because that roof looks so incredibly similar, but I'm going to just explore it anyway. First of all, the booths. Ooh, the blue and the Hamburg badges, they work so well together with these booths. And those booths look pretty cool. They've got a big TV in them. Let me in there. But no, these might be the best booths. That's a hard thing to say, but the best booths we have seen in FC26. The white, the blue, the inside of the interiors, not all of them are actually the same. That is genuinely the first time EA has ever done that. I've rotated the bloody camera again. But double-tiered stands, you could get away with maybe saying they're triple-tiered stands, but they're not. And look, why is not every stair in the stadium red, white, and blue? This would genuinely be the best stadium that I have ever seen in my life. If every single stair in this stadium was that colour, I would do unholy things to have that happen. The dugout's okay, it's cool with the German and the Hamburg, and it kind of looks like it's even padded, but what is that tunnel? Why is it not centred? That pisses me off so much. I have to move on. The Volkswagen Arena, the home of Wolfsburg in Germany. And I'm just going to say it. These cards make the stadium look amazing. But one thing that sucks. Why are the stairs not green? If the stairs were green, this stadium would be a 10 out of 10. Look at the roof. Look at the roof. Oh, it looks so damn beautiful. But the stairs aren't green. The stairs are not green. This area is pretty nice though, with all of these people. Got booths up there, and I can imagine one of them's a commentary box as well. But, oh, man, this stadium has so much potential. But the dugout, it looks completely fine, but there's a big lack of green apart from the seats. And look how the players are sat. They're like when you're a kid and you can't reach the... and you're sat on one of the big chairs in the pub and you can't reach the floor. The tunnel's completely fine too, but... oh, that dugout is... Vonovia Ruhrstadion, the home of Bochum in Germany. And I will not lie, this might be one of the most boring stadiums we have explored. Just ever. The roof looks nice with those little like struts and just pointy things, whatever they would be called. But yeah, the stadium is kind of boring. It's just the same design the entire way around, which doesn't make it bad. This is a nice stadium for a second division German side, but I'm just saying it's boring. That kind of goes for the dugout as well. At least it's blue, and at least the players can actually touch the floor, unlike the previous one, and there are a couple of manholes, so that's just weird. But something that confuses me, there is no tunnel, or there is no what I can see to be a tunnel. Because the tunnel wasn't at the dugout, I'll show you once again. Look, no tunnel, no stairs up, absolutely nothing. And as we float around the stadium, please tell me if you can see a tunnel, because I cannot see a tunnel for the life of me. Do they just get dropped off by helicopter every single time they play a game? Because there is no tunnel here. Where do they come out from? I don't quite understand. I mean, there's that area over there, but that's not a tunnel. That's definitely not where the players come out from. And if it is, why? But no, there is genuinely not a tunnel. Where do they come? Do they just spawn there? WWK Arena, the home of Augsburg in Germany, would be boring. It would be boring if it wasn't for the different colours around the stadium. Here we have orange. Here we have green and white. Here we have orange once again, with, you would imagine, is some German meaning I don't know. But this amount of colour just makes the stadium look so nice. This is what Bochum Stadium was missing. Just a bit of flags, a bit of colour, a bit of meaning, and red stairs. Look at these red stairs. Whew. Imagine if the rest of the stairs in the stadium were red. This would be a genuine 9 out of 10 stadium. Yes, maybe Augsburg can't afford to paint every stair red, but just do it anyway. You'll make your money back, I'm sure. The roof design is nice, nothing spectacular, but also nothing awful either. The dugout once again incorporates green and the orange, red seats. The tunnel isn't really a tunnel, it just goes up. And you know me, I don't like stairs in a dugout or a tunnel, but hey, it looks completely fine, and I really, really do like the orange. Imagine if the... Okay, I was going to say imagine if the roof was orange, but that might be a little bit too much. Wembley. I mean, we all know Wembley. It's possibly the most iconic stadium in the world. The roof design is absolutely amazing. I don't know why the arch is not in the game. Maybe EA got lazy. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. But each stand is just outstanding. And that pun didn't even mean to be a pun, but it's a pun now. We've got pretty much quadruple tiered stands, especially here. But, I mean, yeah, this stadium is just a spectacle of both stadium infrastructure and football in itself. I've been here a couple times and it truly just is insane. The dugout, it's pretty much a normal English dugout, which means I don't like it at all. The tunnel also is a bit disappointing, but hey, it's Wembley. Look how big it is. Look, lads, come on. We're focusing on the dugout when we're in Wembley. What's the point? Just look at these stands and, I don't know, like the video, I guess. Weserstadion, the home of Werder Bremen and the last ever stadium we are exploring in FC26. And my oh my, is it a beautiful one. First of all, these cards make it look absolutely amazing. We've got dugouts which looks nice, they've got a red roof, green seats, we've got this, which I don't really know what that is, but it could be for VAR, but there's nothing in there. I can imagine the teams come from maybe those stairs, because I don't really see another tunnel, maybe from there. They probably do come out from here, but it's a bit of it's weird. But the stands are beautiful, the roof is beautiful, that is beautiful, the lights are beautiful, and the stairs could be green, but maybe that would be too much green. The scoreboard as well looks very, very nice. White and green works together pretty damn well, especially as I don't really like the colour green, but here it doesn't look too bad. We've got loads of booths along this, stand as well. That's the commentary box down there. We've got loads of commentary boxes. How many commentary men do we need? But there's so many booths around this entire stadium. It looks lovely. And this little area down here could be my favourite, just because there's that red thing there, which I don't know what it is, and we have a door. But that is the last stadium we are exploring. So Werder Bremen, you have technically now just made history. But thank you all so much for watching. If you did go to enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, hype the video, and comment down below your favourite number of the alphabet. But I'll see you all next time.